Let us enjoy a deep breath. Peace to the mind. Quiet on the inside. Going past the surface mind and thought to the realm of thoughtlessness within. Pure space. Go to the part of your mind that is pure space. No content. Breathe and rest here in the part of your mind that is simply space, without thought, wordless, without confusion, perfect clarity, perfect bliss at all times. This is the part of the mind that is the kingdom of heaven. Within. The kingdom of heaven is within the mind. Go through the portal that is the heart and enter peace, bliss, beauty, sovereignty, grace, power, strength, love. Drop your awareness below the head, below the neck, away from the body, through the portal that is the heart. Here is where we enter the kingdom of heaven within. Ever available to all. Peace is available in confusion. Serenity is available even during a storm. Tranquility is available even in strife. Choose it and hold to the choice by deciding for peace with all, deciding for love, for all, to all, with all, deciding for truth. All is one. Breathe. And feel the spaciousness of the kingdom of heaven, the space in your own mind, without thought, light, free, without colors, source, the vast, undifferentiated, before form. Bask in the kingdom of heaven. Feel the bliss of your own being. Always available. Always present. We must seek it. We must accept no substitutes for the kingdom of heaven within, where all happiness resides, permanent happiness, permanent safety, permanent power, permanent wisdom. There is a power beyond all powers on earth. That power is in heaven. This power is the power of source within, in every mind. Infinite power awaits acknowledgement, recognition, focus, direction for divine outcomes on the third dimensional plane. Choose the kingdom of heaven. Choose bliss. Choose love. Breathe and be completely still inside and out. Breathing. If the thought occurs, allow it to float away like a balloon above the top of the head. No need to think all the time. Release thought at will. Master of mind. Feel the bliss of the kingdom of heaven. This is your home. A wordless, thoughtless realm of space. No time. The void. The great I am, from which all emerges. Allow it to take over your being. Let it take over your body, allowing it to heal the body temple, heal the emotional body, correct and align all errors in the mind, body temple, and energetic bodies. Allow the dynamic darkness to do its work. The kingdom of heaven within knows what to do. This is love. It is our job to go to the well every day and drink deeply. Be still and know all is well. Be not afraid of the darkness nor the silence. Know this is your home, the vast nothingness, pure awareness, consciousness, known by many names. It is the all. Now, giving honor, appreciation to Source, our spirit guides, the angels, archangels, our ancestors beloved, near and blessed, the mighty master teachers, ascended masters, Christ, Kuan Yin, Lord Buddha, Lord Krishna, giving honor, appreciation, praise, and blessing to the whole universe as Source, in whom we live, breathe, move, and have our very being. Amen. And now, remain ensconced in the kingdom of heaven within. Let no one, no thing, no event, no circumstances lure you away from perfect peace of mind, the kingdom of heaven within, all day, every day, as you give loving, kind, compassionate attention to the third dimension and all of the wonderful souls who have blessed your life. And we open our eyes. 1, 2, 3, slowly, 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 slowly. A master never rushes. Leave off rushing. Stretch your neck, side to side. And we begin A Course in Miracles, Lesson 69. Here we go. Lesson 69. Look at you being an absolute rock star, spiritual gangster every morning, showing up, sharing, engaging, changing your life, creating miracles. Actually, they're already created. Experiencing miracles. Look at you. Lesson 69. My grievances. More about grievances today. More about grievances today. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. Yesterday, we found out that our grievances in the book, A Course in Miracles, if you're brand new, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're here from day one or at any point that you joined, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in a 365-day radical commitment to uplevel every area of our lives, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. We are in a 365-day curriculum to absolutely radically change our whole mind, our whole consciousness, everything we have thought and believed, everything's on the table, and to have a whole new life, 365 days. It came to me the other day that we got to have a party, some kind of celebration in December that we did this because we're doing something magnificent and huge and amazing, and we've got to celebrate it, right? Celebration is lots and success. Well, in this 365-day radical commitment we've made to each other to grow, to prosper, to up level every area of our lives, to change our minds, to take all of our thoughts and put them before the blinding light of love, all of them, where we're not holding anything back. So far, we have come to understand that our essential nature is love, and that we are indeed the light of the world, and we're here to light up the whole world with forgiveness and to let our light shine, as we heard from the Christ presence. We also have learned that what stops us from doing that? Grievances. We're holding on to things that we think people did to us, things that we think happened before, things that we think are happening now, things that we think victimized us, things that we think terrorized us, abused us. We're holding on to things. We would call these grievances. This shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have said that. She shouldn't have done that. He did that. They did that. I did that. These are all illusions of an egoic mind. So we go to the Blue Book, A Course in Miracles by the Foundation for Inner Peace, and you can find all of this online at acim.org. And I do want to ask of you a request to gift to the Foundation for Inner Peace, a nonprofit organization. So, of course, all of your gifts to ACIM are completely tax deductible. So you simply go to acim.org and click that big donate button. If A Course in Miracles has done anything for your life, please support it with your wealth. You see, Christ said, where your heart is, there your treasures will be also. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all the incredible beings who bless me with gifts and your presence, Satoshis and Bitcoin, all of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we also are big givers. We do not receive only, we're not takers. We give. And I am asking on behalf of A Course in Miracles. I do not have any affiliation with A Course in Miracles. They didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing it because of the love that resides in my heart. I have donated and love donating to A Course in Miracles over the years for what it has done in my life and for all of the people who work tirelessly every day to translate A Course in Miracles into languages all over the world. We give from this love, and we know that this is soil that we are planting good seed. I felt inspired to say that this morning. If you're in this 365-day curriculum and this curriculum has fed your life, feed the curriculum so that it can go to even more minds. And we bring peace to the world. We bring peace to the world. No one can look upon what your grievances conceal, because your grievances are hiding the light of the world in you. Everyone stands in darkness and you beside him. You see, when we have grievances, it is hiding the light of the world. Let's go to our idea again for the day. Each day we receive a new idea, and sometimes we're in a review of several ideas. Grievances, holding on to past hurts, insults, indignations, discriminations, fill in the blank, holding on to things that are supposedly in the past. There's no such thing as past. It's all here right now, yet we believe it's the past. Well, what are these grievances doing? These grievances are hiding the light of the world in me. They're hiding. It's like a lamp shade on a lamp. Not only does it put the people in darkness that we have our grievances against, which we learned yesterday is everyone. The human mind, the egoic mind, holds a grievance or grievances against everyone. Some people, we have very big grievances. And the Course says others, even people we like and think we love, the Course says the people we think we love, well, if we really love them, we wouldn't be holding grievances. Yet the mind is holding grievances against everyone. Something that you don't like how a person does it, you don't like this, you wish they would not do this, you wish this. These are my grievances. My grievances cause everyone to stand in darkness and me beside them. But as the veil of your grievances is lifted, you are released with him. So as I allow the veil of my grievances to be lifted, it's a veil I can't see. I cannot see people for who they really are because their grievances are hiding their light and mine. I have cast them in the darkness and with them myself. Yet as I say, okay, I'm willing to forgive, I'm willing to let go, I'm willing to learn a new way to do it, I'm willing. As we do this, then the veil of the grievances is lifted. and we're released. Share your salvation now with him who stood beside you when you were in hell. So what did we do? We cast people in the darkness, which means we cast them in hell, and we were standing next to them in hell, because you cannot keep someone in a jail without being the warden. How are you going to make sure they don't escape your grievances and what you think they did? You have to stay in jail with them to make sure they're there. So if you have people in jail, you're in prison too, because you have to ward them. You have to make sure they stay there. And stop it. How about everybody come out of jail? Everyone today gets a get out of jail free card. He is your brother in the light of the world that saves you both. This is your brother. This is your sister. This is your self being lovingly reflected to you. This is yourself in the light of the world that saves you both today. Let us make another real attempt to reach the light in you today. See, this is a practice. It builds and builds and builds. Today, we will take yet another real attempt. See, you must press. It's not going to just come to you. You must go. You must have intention. You must continue. Persevere, not force, persevere. Keep walking, keep going. No fight. Simply keep going. Another real attempt to reach the light in you. Before we undertake this in our more extended practice period, every day we have different kinds of practice periods for the mind. We have an extended practice period of 10 to 15 minutes, morning and night. And then we have a shorter practice period that makes the course extremely useful and practical. We devote several minutes to thinking about what we are trying to do. Before we undertake this in our extended practice period, we've got to devote several minutes to what you're trying to do. What are you trying to do here? We are literally attempting to get in touch with the salvation of the world. You have been told, well, I have been told, let me own it. We have been told that the salvation of the world is outside of yourself, and it's in a person. It's one person. His name is Jesus, and everybody in the world has got to have him. And if you don't have him, you're going to die. You're going to hell, unless you come to him and you confess. I don't know. What about all the other religions? What about all the other ways that God is speaking to people? No, it's only Jesus, and Jesus is all you need. And I remember back in the days when I was first coming into my Christian witch's experience and integrating it and fully harmonizing with it. I remember receiving a lot of letters. We still receive a lot of comments, and like, it's fascinating to read about this spiritual path. And I remember that someone wrote to me and she said, my grandmother is, or it was either her grandmother or her mother, is a matriarch in her life, a beloved matriarch. And she was on the path of, she loved fairies. She loved fairies. And she said, maybe you can help me, because, I love fairies. I love what you're talking about. I love all this. She said, and my grandmother told me, or my mother told me, all you need is Jesus, not fairies. Grandma wanted to replace fairies with Jesus, and that all you need is Jesus. And well, why? Why were we told that's all you need? Really examine this, examine it. Jesus is the way and the truth and the light. Jesus is the only way to get to God. Jesus is the salvation. Jesus is the one that's going to save you from all your sins. Why did they tell you this? Why did they tell you? What is this resting on? Really examine this theology. It's resting on the premise that you were created perfect, and then you had a fall and you needed saving. And what the Course is telling us is that nothing you can do can change your essential nature. You didn't have a fall. You don't need saving. Get up and save the world. You don't need saving. You need to save. Now, that's a radical departure from what many of us were taught. That's what you're getting in touch with. And if you've had years of Christian indoctrination or Islamic indoctrination or Jewish indoctrination, which is all beautiful. I love all the religions of the world. I love them all. Never met a religion I didn't love. The question becomes, how am I going to situate myself with regard to this religion and what I was told? Because all the religions have truth in them. Nothing's all the way wrong and nothing's all the way right. So there is truth in what I was told. I must decipher the truth. I must go deeper. I must understand the inner mysteries of this thing. Because if I just take the party line as they gave me, the story, and I swallow it, I begin quickly to see that there's holes in the story. And this is Christ writing our minds. You thought you needed salvation. You don't. We are trying to see past the veil of darkness that keeps it concealed. See, we have a veil in our minds that keeps the salvation and the light of the world hidden. We are trying to let the veil be lifted and to see the tears of God's Son disappear in the sunlight. You want to see the tears of suffering of the entire world disappear before the sunlight, and many have done it before you. Christ, Buddha, Mother Teresa, Kuan Yin, many have done it before you. They saw the light, and then all the people around them saw the light too. Yes, and the darkness disappeared. And the sickness fell away. And the death was no more. Neither was there poverty or longing. Because in these blinding moments where all of them saw the light, many, many, many stories, all of them gathered together, congregated, Pentecost in an upper room, 120 gathered together, they all experienced the light together. Christ wasn't even there in body. Of course, he was there in spirit. So we're calling it Christ. You could call it anything. The whole thought, the whole idea of it is you don't need saving. You are the Savior. Stop looking to Christ. Stop looking outside yourself. Get to doing what you came here to do, which is to be the light of the world and light this motherfucker up. Let us begin our longer practice period today with the full realization that this is so the full realization. And with real determination, see, you've got to be determined to reach what is dearer to us than all else. See, we've been determined to go for many things on the outside. That's been beautiful. You've been determined to go for a relationship, you found it. You've been determined to go for love, you found it. You've been determined to build that business, you built it, it's successful. You've been determined to write that book, you wrote it. You've been determined to create that huge enterprise, you did it. You've been determined to create this incredible music, you did it. See, we've been determined to do a lot of things outside of ourselves. Let us be equally determined to go within and find the light. This is dearer than all else. Salvation is our only need. See, once you're saved, everything else is added unto you. It said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. All these other things will be added unto you. All the money, all the relaxation, all the peace, all the prosperity, all the beauty, all the bliss, all of it. All of it is added to you as miracles. That's what we would call miracles. We call them expressions of love. We desire to live our lives by miracles, synchronicities, not making things happen. There is no other purpose here and no other function to fulfill. There's no other purpose here than to save yourself and save the world. What else could be the function other than joy and happiness, peace and compassion? If you look at the Dalai Lama, you see that he is fulfilling his purpose. What is the Dalai Lama doing most of the time? Most of the time, he's laughing. Look up funny moments with the Dalai Lama. This is the funniest Dalai Lama I've ever seen in my life. Like, he's super jokey. He's always laughing. He's like this bundle of love and joy and happiness and compassion and kindness. That's all. And all he does is walk around and be a bundle of light with love, and he does not take himself seriously at all. And he's walking around, he has the robes, they're bringing him tea and they're bringing him this, and they're so holding him so high. Do you think he holds himself like that? Not at all. It's in his bearing. He's ordinary. He's so ordinary and so divine at the same time. He's ordinary and he's not. Mama Ia went to see him, my beloved, blessed spiritual mother, Reverend Dr. Yana Van Sant, bless her soul. Mama Ia went to see him, and she was in a depth of darkness and despair after her daughter had passed. Jamia, our beloved Jamia, blessed be her soul in high realms in heaven. And Mama Ia said she was just in despair. She was in despair, and her friend said, "Come on, let's go see the Dalai Lama. Beautiful friends carry us through despair by their presence. While we do the hard, deep stuff that we have to do, they're just sitting right there. You can do this. right? They're not doing it for us. They're right there with us, though. And she said, come on, let's go see the Dalai Lama. And they went to see the Dalai Lama. And then there was an invitation at the end that you could pay a certain amount of money and go and have a one-on-one experience with the Dalai Lama. Of course, there were thousands of people there. So this was like huge. So she said she knew she had to see the Dalai Lama. She went to the back and she registered, and they told her the date and the time. It was like the next day, the exact time, because the Dalai Lama was going to see a lot of people that day for blessings. And she said that she walked in the space. It was just her and the Dalai Lama. She walked in the space, and there sat the Dalai Lama in the middle of this vast room, and there was nothing in the room. It wasn't some fancy palatial something. It was none of that. It was the Dalai Lama sitting there in great compassion. And she said the second she stepped into his presence, she began to weep uncontrollably, weeping. And he sat there in pure composure and love and compassion. The tears are coming to me now because this is a great love. This is a great love that is being anchored on the planet. A great peace, a great reservoir, one who has seen his own light and now can bring the light to others. Simply sitting in the light. There is no job. The Dalai Lama don't have a job. This is our only function. When we understand our only function, we'll stop running around doing the 10,000 things the Buddhists talk about that don't get you there. The 10,000 things that will never satisfy your soul. You ought to be looking to do less than more. That's what I'm doing. I got some revelations this morning. I'm going to be doing less, not more. Salvation is our only need. There is no other purpose here and no other function to fulfill. Learning salvation is our only goal. Learning how to let go of my damn grievances, forgive everything, be the light of the world, let my light shine, find the kingdom of heaven within myself, the salvation and light in myself, and bring peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Like, what else is there to do other than save yourself and save the world? Let us end the ancient search today. The Course says there's an ancient search, an ancient search. We've been searching for thousands of years. Let's pause the ancient search today and find it. By finding the light in us and holding it up for everyone who searches with us to look upon and rejoice. That's what the Dalai Lama is doing. He has found the light. He found it within himself, and he's letting his light shine. He held the light up so that all who want to find it within themselves don't find it in the Dalai Lama, don't find it in the Christ, don't find it in anyone other than yourself. Find it within yourself and let your light shine. That's really your only job. How simple is that? How contrarian is that? Because the world taught us to do, and you were prized and you were celebrated for doing this and doing this and doing and doing and doing and doing and doing. Before you know it, we are doings, not human beings. Don't be a doing. We're beings. Very quietly now, with your eyes closed, try to let go of all the content that generally occupies your consciousness, about what you think your life is and what you think you are and what you think other people are and what you got to do with your kids and what you got to do with your house and what you got to do with work and what you got to do with your business and what you got to do on this trip and what you got to do on social media and blah, 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 blah. All the things that generally cloud our mind. Close our eyes and try to let go of all the content. That's what meditation is. That's why it's a practice, because the content, we think it's us. We don't see the gap. We don't see the space. Like, oh, all these are not my thoughts. These are currents running through consciousness. Some of them may not even belong to me. Many of them don't belong to you. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by a layer of heavy, dark clouds. Think of your mind as a vast circle surrounded by heavy, dark clouds. You can see only the clouds because you seem to be standing outside the circle and quite apart from it. From where you stand, you can see no reason to believe there is a brilliant light hidden behind the clouds. A brilliant light. You see, on a dark, stormy day, we cannot see the sun. That's our mind. The clouds seem to be the only reality. We're in the storm. Oh my goodness, it's raining, it's pouring, it's dark outside. The heavens are darkened. Yet, right behind all of that, the sun is shining as always. But in the moment that we're in the storm seems to be the only reality. The clouds seem to be the only reality. They seem to be all there is to see. It seems that the storm, because we're in it, that doesn't mean the universe is in it. That doesn't even make it true just because we're in it. Therefore, you do not attempt to go through them and pass them. We don't attempt to go through the storm and pass the storm because we think it's real, which is the only way in which you would be really convinced of their lack of substance. We will make this attempt today. The only real way that we can find out that this indeed is not real is to go past it. We can't stay in it and say, oh yeah, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real, because you will be trying to convince yourself of something, but you won't know it. You have to go past the clouds. Oh, these are clouds. Let me go past them to the light. After you have thought about the importance of what you're trying to do for yourself in the world, that's how we're beginning our first practice period today. Listen carefully to the instructions. People who follow instructions really can have a lot of power in their lives. The ability to follow instructions is critical on the spiritual path. We receive instructions every day from the Course, but some people would like to veer this way and that way and do this and do that. This is just a sign of an undisciplined mind. Because if we're here, we cannot follow instructions. Something needs to be addressed in our consciousness. After you've thought about the importance of what you're trying to do for yourself and the world, try to settle down in perfect stillness, as we did this morning, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today, now. It didn't say what we hear so much in spiritual circles. Well, I know it's a process. No, now, 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 now. Determined to go past the clouds. Determine it, decide it. Reach out and touch them in your mind. Brush them aside with your hand. Feel them resting on your cheeks and forehead and eyelids as you go through them. Go on. Clouds cannot stop you. I found the secret of life. I'm going past the clouds of depression and problems and confusion and chaos and crisis and war and they don't like me and racism and discrimination and hatred and BLM. I'm going past the clouds to the light. How can you solve the issues on planet Earth if you do not go past the clouds in your own consciousness to perfection? How can you be the savior of the world? How can you help people out of discrimination while you're in discrimination? Can't do it. How can you help people out of war while you're in war? Can't do it. You help minds out of war by bringing your mind to peace and forgiveness. If you are doing the exercises properly, you will begin to feel a sense of being lifted up and carried ahead. Your little effort, and small determination. This is a small determination because I'm meditating on just what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to save the whole world, myself along with it. And small determination, call on the power of the universe to help you. See, when you have just this little effort and this determination, you're doing just this little effort and you have a determination. This is calling, these two principles are calling on the power of the universe to help you, and God himself will raise you from darkness into light. God itself will raise you from darkness into light. Yes, you are in accord with his will. You cannot fail because your will is his. Wow. That's what my little effort and small determination will do. Well, then I have to do that immediately. I have to do it now. It doesn't have to be a process, not next month, not next year, not 10 years of meditation. Do it now. Have confidence in your Father today. It doesn't say have confidence in yourself. It says have confidence in your Father. Have confidence in your source. Have confidence in your Mother, Father, God. Have confidence in your source. Have confidence. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating that Clubhouse just flipped itself off. This energy really gets very high for electronics. I think I need to put the electronics a little farther away from me because they are being zapped a lot in the mornings, the Course in Miracles, between these angels and our meditations and our speaking and the currents that are going forth, it is definitely zapping these electronics. So I'm going to be kinder to the electronics. Have confidence in your Father today and be certain that He has heard you and answered you. Be confident. Not confident in yourself, as we shared, confident in Source. Because you probably don't really believe in yourself all the way yet. You may not recognize His answer yet, but you can indeed be sure that it is given you and you will yet receive it. You might not be aware of it yet. You might think, is it working? Am I there yet? What's happening? Oh, it's working. Be confident of the answer. You see, a big part of magic, and we are all a magical community here, witches, wizards, warlocks, magical beings here, and all the magical beings that we are. Be confident. Be confident. Be confident that Source is doing it. Be confident the magic is working. Even if you don't see anything right then, it's working. Nobody sees anything when you plant seeds in the ground and you cover them with dirt. You don't expect to see anything yet. Eventually, something's going to happen. Trust it. No farmer doesn't have complete confidence of a crop after planting the seed. You wouldn't do all that if you didn't believe that, if you didn't know the laws of nature. Seeds create outcomes. They can't not create outcomes. Every thought is a seed. You try. Just as Princess said the other day, the thought is the seed. Try as you attempt to go through the clouds to the light to hold this confidence in your mind. See, as you're just waving these clouds beside, and you're feeling the clouds on your eyelids and your cheeks and your face, your lips, and you're brushing the clouds aside. As you go past the clouds to the light, remember that you are holding confidence in your mind in Source, that you will be lifted to the light. Try to remember that you are at last joining your will to God's. Try to keep the thought clearly in mind that what you undertake with God must succeed, it must succeed, it must succeed. Then let the power of God work in you and through you, that His will and yours be done. Boom. Let the power of God work in you and through you, that His will and yours be done. In the shorter practice periods, what you will want to do as often as possible, in view of the importance of today's idea to you and your happiness, the shorter practice periods, do them often as possible. Since this idea we're talking about is the most important idea in the world, that it is the most important thing ever, saving yourself and the world. There is nothing more important. Have we not learned from the apocalypse we experienced in 2020 and 2021? We lived through the revelation. Remind yourself that your grievances, in the importance of today's idea to you and your happiness, there is nothing more important to you and your happiness than the salvation of the world. Remind yourself that your grievances are hiding the light of the world from your awareness. You see, I don't want to keep these grievances, Spirit, because they're hiding the light from me. Yet I must be willing to let them go. Remind yourself also that you are not searching for it alone. It's all of us together, and that you do not know where to look for it. Wow. We must, family, we must come humbly and boldly to the throne of grace. We must empty ourselves of what we think we know. We have so much piled up in our heads of what we think we know. You are not searching for this alone, and that you do not know where to look for it. Let me just be honest and say, I don't know where to look for the light, because if I didn't know where to look for the light, I would have taken myself out of darkness long ago. Say then, my grievances hide the light of the world in me. I cannot see what I have hidden, and I want to let it be revealed to me for my salvation and the salvation of the world. I am willing. There is another statement of willingness. Remember, the Course tells us we must do two things. We must relinquish and we must recognize. There's something you have to let go, let go, let go. Every day it tells us to let go. That's called forgiving or giving for. Let go. Free yourself. Also, be sure to tell yourself, if I hold this grievance, the light of the world will be hidden from me. If you are tempted, that phrase, get thee behind me, Satan, that is a metaphor for temptation coming from my own mind. If you are tempted to hold anything against anyone today, Tell yourself, if I hold this grievance, if I hold this insult, if I remember this, because that's what I would have to do to hold a grievance. I would have to be making myself remember, even as the Holy Spirit is helping me to forget. I am being taken to divine amnesia, yet I am kicking and screaming the whole way because I would rather hold on to something that happened in the third grade, when I was 4, when I was 17, when I got my first heartbreak experience. Your heart can't be broken. I would rather hold on to these things, and I would rather replay them in my mind, and I would rather remember them than to let them go. That's insanity. We will have our first practice period now, as we do every day together. This is our daily spiritual practice together, where there is nothing more important than lighting up the world. Remember to share. I'm going to tap the share icon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings, 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 appreciation, appreciation, appreciation to all the sharers, commenting, sharing, spreading the peace, spreading the love, spreading the joy. I am sharing now. Peace is available to you. Get in here. To you now. Get in here. Peace, 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 peace. We begin our 10 minutes now. And our chimes that signal we have completed our first practice period for the day. The floor is open. Also, I've got to send some love out to all of us yesterday as we were having a powerful conversation yesterday, and all the tech got zapped. All of it, all of it, all of it. So if that happens, know that you received everything you're to receive and meditate on it. Let's get some shares. Let's get some likes. Let's get some comments. This is how we train the bots to spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word.
Like Princess, you're up. Okay, thank you. How are you guys doing? I'm feeling.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm feeling a lot of grievances that I need to work. I need to let go of.
Can we get cut straight to the chase, Lake Princess?
Yes, I'm trying to let it.
No. Pause. Can we cut straight to the chase? Do you want to play?
I feel.
Do you want to play?
No, I'm not playing.
No. I'm asking, do you want to play? It's a game. Do you want to play a game?
Cut to the chase is the name of the game. Okay.
Yeah, here's the name of the game. Here it is, Lake Princess. Here it is. I'm about to give it to you. Drop it now. That's it. Look, you're holding it in your hand. Do this. That's it. You drop it. There's no trying to drop it. You drop it. There's no trying.
Okay.
You just drop it.
Right.
That's it, family. There's really nothing to talk about. There's nothing to process. There's nothing to try to do. There's none of that. That is all the mind trying to convince you not to go to the kingdom of heaven. Don't fall for it, family. Drop it right now. Is there anything preventing you, if a grievance comes up in your mind, is there anything preventing you from saying, okay, drop it? Is there anything preventing you from saying that?
Well, it's mostly to deal with.
But pause. Is there anything stopping you from saying, drop it, and dropping it right now? Is there anything preventing that?
There is a little bit of resistance, yes.
Okay, and can you drop that too? Just drop it.
I'm scared too.
Okay, can you drop being scared? Can you just drop it? Family, this is a circular game we play with ourselves, and you can play with yourself and navel pick all you like. You've got to recognize it's the mind running game on you. Is that part clear? Are you aware? Because you may not be aware, Lake Princess. Are you aware this is the mind running game on you? Or not really?
Most likely, because I'm planning on putting my 2 weeks in, and I keep telling myself reasons that I'm not ready to.
Beautiful.
And
okay, beautiful. So here's the deal. You know, the course was very explicit this morning. Let's go to that part where it said it. And that's why we're going to this part again, because this is an important thing to look at. It used a very explicit word. It said, after you have thought about the importance of what you're trying to do for yourself in the world, try to settle down in perfect silence, remembering only how much you want to reach the light in you today. It said now. Do you want to do it now? Now, you see, because we've been here every day, the course is now telling us that you're ready to do it now. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. Say, I don't want to do it. Don't say I can't. Does everyone see that? This is not about Lake Princess. This is about all of us still putting up protestations. Yeah.
What paragraph is that?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, darling. This is paragraph 6. That there has to be a determination. I love that the course used the word today, like Princess and all of us family, determined. Yeah, doubts come up, drop those too. Yeah, fears come up, drop those too. Yeah, resistance comes up, I drop that too. Because these are all the clouds that are on my face. I love that you're bringing this up, Lake Princess, because it's showing us that we get to the clouds and we don't want to go through them. Just keep walking. That's where the determination comes in. It says we just need a little determination. Yes, that I'm not staying here. Did you make up your mind you're not staying at your job?
I'm still playing mental gymnastics.
Okay. Do you want to stop that or do you want to keep suffering? That's the question that you want to ask yourself. The choice of your family is very clear. Do I want to be suffer or do I want to be happy? Those are our only two choices. Which one?
Be happy.
Okay, beautiful. Good choice. So if you want to be happy, family, if you want to be happy, there's one way to do it. Drop all the grievances and go to the kingdom of heaven within. See the light and share the light with the world. It's very simple. You just go to the light. That's all. Go to the light. My fears are not the light. Okay, I have to be determined to go past these fears. So the questions that you ask, beloved, are the answers are right in the course for us today. We've got to be willing to receive the answers. Yes? And you're right, like Princess, beautiful queen, beautiful princess. All these doubts do come up in the mind. And I have tremendous compassion for you and love. Yes, they do come up in the mind. And I'm determined. I have to remember, I'm determined. I have to remember what I'm doing. Are you committed and determined, like Princess? I already know the answer to this question. I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you determined to see the light in yourself and save yourself and the world?
Yes, with all my heart.
Yes. This I know. This I know about you.
I'm getting a bit emotional because sometimes I wonder if my stress and my mental health is really the external world or my internal chemical balance. And when you mention as we've been so without, I think, is it really just a problem within me, like mentally, like my own chemicals, my own dopamine, serotonin that's causing me not to see the glass half full anymore sometimes. I've been having good days, but I think just this past few days where I've been battling myself about a decision with my music and
no battling, no battling. Pause for a moment. No battling. Do I want to be happy or do I want to suffer? Is there a battle in that question?
There should not be.
Is there inherently a battle in that question? Do I want to suffer or do I want to be happy? Everyone ask yourself, because if you're listening to this, there's some place in your life that you still want to suffer. You haven't chosen to be free. You haven't chosen happiness. There's places in my life where, okay, I'm still choosing to suffer here. And all we get to do is tell ourselves the radical truth. Like, do you really want it? And you said you did. So then do it. That's all, family. Do it. Don't think about doing it. Don't talk about doing it. Don't get ready to do it. Do it. Yes, Lake Princess? Just do it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Who's next?
I would like to share.
Please do.
So yesterday, I overslept by far. I woke up at like 1 p.m. And when you miss the course, your whole day is just different. So the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes, and I had an appointment at 1 o'clock, and it was like 12:48. So I get up and I check my phone, and the first thing I saw was one of my friends who calls herself a prophetess had put up a post on social media. And I'm the type of person, I feel like I'm spiritually grounded enough not to let what is posted on social media move my mountain. And what she posted didn't actually move my mountain. It was a post about homosexuality, and it was a very long post about how we're sinners and basically
Can I
banishing us
ask a
straight to hell.
question? Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
This is not a friend without revealing anything, any personal issues whatsoever about the friend. Is this the friend that also likes women?
Wait, how did you know I was getting there? This isn't
Okay.
that friend.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
that's what's so funny about
Just
it.
asking
Normally, I would've
questions.
kept
That's all.
scrolling. No, you were right to ask that question. So this lady, she's passionate. It was all about the brat's wedding, and people were saying that Jesus was not at Jesus would not have been at this wedding. Oh my God, like they were all over this, and usually that tickles me. However, the person that you just asked me about, she comes in the comments and she's like, "Amen." She's totally agreeing. And when I tell you that made my head spin, I'm like, look at her on this post. Someone who I know is gay, who was in a relationship with me, and before me in a relationship for 10 years with another woman. Not to mention, this woman was trying to whoop my ass, but every October she's standing up for domestic violence. Like, I tell you, my head spun. And that's when I realized, ooh. And then today I was like, damn, I had a grievance, because I was all over that post. I went through and I deleted my comments this morning. But when you miss the course, you miss a lot. When you're not on the course in the morning, you allow yourself to get moved throughout the day. But yes, normally I would have just kept on scrolling on that post. Even if I had saw that other person make her comments, I probably would have kept on scrolling. But I missed the course yesterday morning. When you miss the course, your whole day is just off, and things that normally would not take you there. But when I tell you, I went in, and then of course I just stood for what I believed. And when you stand for what you believe, people think you're mad. But when the other person wrote this 6-paragraph post about how she hated gay people, nobody thought she was mad. It was just funny. Normally I don't get moved off my mountain by that. But yesterday I was moved, and I know it was all because I missed lesson 68. So I need to go back and review it. But it's when I saw that this course today, the lesson was about grievances, I realized I still had some. So thank you for coming on every morning, because we used to call this crazy repellent. I really truly believe that that's what it is.
That is exactly what we used to call it. And you know what I love about this, Harmony? It is difficult for us to fathom how. Who watched Black Witch Yaya's video, part 1 and part 2, the pastor and the warlock? Who watched that? Please watch Black Witch Yaya. You watched it 3 times. I love it, like Princess, because something so amazing is being revealed in this story. If y'all knew how delicious this story is revealing to you all the Christians, including the pastors. And I'm doing air quotes with pastors. They really are pastors. The pastors who have spiritual advisors and tarot readers and spiritual and root workers and herbalists, and have lucky mojo bags in their pocket, and growing their church through magic. Like, Christianity and magic have been strange bedfellows from before any of this happened. So the level of Christians who are engaging in magic, for me, it's magic, right? That they love to say from the pulpit, and witches and gays. I think they all usually lump us all together, all the witches and all the gays. Oh my goodness, so funny. The Christian church, they have pet peeves of who they like to pick on. I don't know. They're not picking on the liars. Well, sometimes the liars and what about the murderers? But you don't hear them preaching anything about liars and murderers from the stage, but you do hear them coming against spirit of homosexuality. Which I find rather hilarious. Just like they be coming against witches and mad witches and the magical practicing priests. And oh my goodness, it's so funny. So what is happening here is that you are seeing the ultimate in projection. Family, this is what projection looks like. I will not accept it in myself. Therefore, I will cast it outside of myself and denigrate it. Anything that you do not accept. So when that book came out about on the down low, about the sister who was married to a pastor, and the pastor, she found the pastor in bed with a man. Oh man, that book was so, oh, people just, oh, they were so mad at that book. And I'm in church like, clearly this musical director is gay, clearly this one is gay, clearly this one is gay. What's the, but the past, and the pastor standing right next to the gay. I would be sitting in church like, is anybody else seeing what I'm seeing? Like, I've seen flaming gay people in church on stage. And I'm looking around like, is anyone seeing? You know, your gaydar went off. We all know we all have gaydar. I don't think these people's gaydar is working. You're standing right next to a gay person talking about gay people. Like, what is happening here? I'm trying to get a read on what's happening here. I don't understand it. Here is what it is. Let me not say I don't understand it. I do understand it. Here is what it is. It is projection. What you do not accept about yourself, you will project out there and call it evil. It's a great big old projection. These are people, this is what it looks like when I don't do my shadow work. I call this person evil because they're, I don't know. Uh, Here's an example. You go on Instagram and look at anything that bothers you. Anything that bothers you. Oh, she shouldn't be showing all that booty. Okay, maybe that bothers you. What you are seeing is the aspect of yourself that you will not allow out to show your booty. It's deep within the unconscious mind. You will not accept it. You will not address it. You will not acknowledge it. You will not let it allow it healthy expression. And because you have it repressed in your own mind, it creates a shadow, it creates a projection out into the world. You see it, and then you get angry. You have an adverse reaction to it. Anything you see on the buffet, everything's on the buffet in life. Everything's on the buffet. Ayahuasca taught me this. The mother taught me this. Everything's on the buffet, from babies to poop to trees to tall people, Chinese people, gay people, older people, younger people, people who love animals, people who don't like animals, cat lovers, dog lovers, bird lovers, people who are bi, people who are, all of it is on the buffet. Everything, everything. Liars, cheaters, everything, everything. It's all on the buffet. People who betray, people who backstab, people who love, people who you can trust, people you can't trust. It's all on the buffet. When you go to a buffet, if you're vegetarian, you don't curse the ribs as you walk by them. You just walk by. You don't get mad because ribs are on the buffet. You just go to the salad bar and you're so into the cucumbers and the garlic and the bring the sprouts, and oh my goodness, I get happy when I get around all those kinds of vegetables and I'm putting it on, and you're getting the nuts and the sunflower seeds and you're imagining what this is going to taste like. You are so in your happiness of what's your lane and your jam. You're not cursing shrimp. You just don't eat it. If you're cursing something, it's you, boo. It's you all day long. It's you. That's how that works, Harmony. So don't be concerned. Just know that's how it works. That your shit is showing even when you tried to cover it up.
Absolutely. And actually, that was my comment. I'm like, that exactly was my comment. And this particular post has like 200 comments, and probably about 175 of them are like, yeah, burn all the gay people alive.
Then you have just found 175 new gay people that won't let themselves be gay.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. All of y'all want to slip up on some same-sex relationships, but are too afraid to admit it. So we just got to say, kill all the ones that are able to walk in their light.
And my real deep sense about it is that I don't think any human really should be limited at all about anything sexually with regard to humans that are grown, of course, not children, grown, They can choose what they want to do. Like, why is that a thing? Why are we so concerned with who people sleep with? Why is that a thing?
Exactly. Why is everybody so concerned about who is with somebody else's bed, especially DeBrat? You think DeBrat thinking about you? Probably not. So to me, it was just like a whole lot of energy on something that shouldn't even matter. And then I said to myself, well, is this the best use of your time? Like, you're not. There's no point in even going back and forth with these people on this conversation. But like I said, I missed the course. If I had been on lesson 68 yesterday morning, I'm sure it would not have. I just would have kept it moving. But when I saw that one person in the comments touching and agreeing, and when I tell you, it made my head spin. I was like, oh no, she didn't. It was on grievances. I see that now.
And this is also coming from a place of being accepted by the tribe. Do we know that people are in a place where they're not accepted? They're not connected. They can't be themselves. They can't be authentic. They're not in a spiritual community. They're in a church community. These are two very different things. A church community is run by rules. Now, I'm not talking about if you're in a church that also has spiritual dynamics where there's true community. In true community, you come as you are. True community is authentic. You don't have to pretend that you're something that you're not because you're afraid of condemnation. Please hold great love in a space of great love for people like this. They're suffering because they want to be gay, and they know that if they came out as gay or a witch or I like voodoo, or if they said anything like that. I have a crystal. I just bought a new selenite wand the other day. If I walked into a church and held up that wand, do you know I would clear the building in 3 seconds flat? They cannot be themselves. They're in prison. This is why we do A Course in Miracles every day, because your light lights up. You don't even have to comment on the post. You just bring your light there. You bring your light and watch the darkness dissipate. You bring your light. You don't have to say anything. Spirit put it in front of us so we can see what to correct. Oh, let me bring my light to it because I am the salvation of the world. Let me remember my function as the light of the world. And then we don't have to get mad at people. Hey, if you're walking around, you probably see women you want to bang. You probably see men you want to bang. I mean, love more, love freely. Just love people. And I assure you, I am not concerned about any sex other than the sex I'm getting. I'm not concerned. That is the only sex I've ever been concerned with, the sex that I'm having. Now, what y'all do in your beds, make it good, because I'm going to make mine good, okay? I don't know. Make it good. I don't know what to tell you. All right, who's next? Oh. Who's next?
Good morning. Good morning.
Barbara, you're coming to Dubai. Barbara!
I'm so excited. I am so excited. And it's just so much wonderful things are happening with this course and the meditation this morning with the kingdom within. It's just, I haven't been able to meditate like this before, but every day it's just getting better to get connected. And one thing you said when you were reading about people who follow instructions is powerful in life. And I've been listening. This is what happened with the money for the course. Yeah, I listened to some of the old, like 8 years ago, the YouTube videos that you put out, and you put out one with $30,000 by Friday. And
it was money by Friday. That's right.
And I was like, I'm going to Dubai because I was trying to get that money for the first to put down to get that special. But then last night I came home and I said, well, I seen another price. So then I said, well, maybe I'll go with that price without accommodations. And then I started looking at the Airbnbs and I was like, Dubai, oh my God, it is just awesome. And I just cannot wait to be there with everybody because it's just 222. I got so much. I am not not the same person. Never work again. I'm working on my Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency, I'm learning so much. It's like, wow. Like I said before, I felt like I entered a university and I'm taking 18 credits at one time and I got to get an A in the course. So I am so excited about everything, and that manifestation. This is what I'm getting is I know I was able to manifest, but now I know I can manifest, and I know the power, and just like letting go of all the grievances, this has really helped me so much, and I really appreciate everything with this course. Every day it's just wonderful, and I am complete.
Barbara, OMG, when I saw that you registered for Dubai, Barbara, I ran to Harmony. I said, Barbara's coming. Why was I happy? Wasn't that Harmony? I was bursting with happiness. Barbara's coming to Dubai, because every being that comes to Dubai, your whole life is going to change. You're going to be, it's indescribable. It's indescribable.
I know. I already feel it. I know. I can feel it. It is just already everything is just unbelievable. Everything, even with my breakthroughs that I had at 222 and Never Work Again, I had some real breakthroughs that really have changed my life, and I am happy. There was another thing I wrote down that you said during this was about the will, because I be taking notes. It says your will is his will, and you cannot fail because your will is his will. And I'm like, yes, yes, this is awesome. And I'm sharing. I'm excited about the Witches Convention too, because I want to do the vendor. I have my business and I do vendoring, and I'm just really excited about that, because that will give me an opportunity to get out. But one thing about vendoring, sometimes you miss other things going on, and I didn't really want that to happen, but it's coming to me. It's a good price and 2 tickets. That's awesome. I will be there, and my granddaughter said she's going to help me. So she's excited about it too. So I am just really, I'm so excited. It feels like my heart is beating different. I'm excited. I gotta calm down. But I'm in love. I'm in love totally.
Oh my God.
And I'm complete.
Oh my God. This is why I scroll through the pictures all the time. And we have so many more pictures than what are here on the website. I scroll through the pictures. I look at us in Bali. I look at us and I pour love on these souls, because these souls decided, like, they got on planes. They invested thousands of dollars in themselves. They went to suites. They went to airplanes. I mean, some of them, to get to Bali, you might have 2 long flights, right? You might go from New York to London Heathrow Airport. It's a ginormous airport. And then you'll hop over to maybe Dubai, or maybe you might go to Qatar. I remember one day I was hopping over, I don't remember which way I was going. Maybe I was going from Bali to somewhere, or Dubai. And when I got to Dubai, on my way to Dubai, I stopped at Qatar. I've never been to Qatar. That airport was so fabulous. You knew you was in the rich Middle East, rich. That whole airport was like heaven. And I sat down and they asked would I like some Qatar coffee, and I was like, yes. And then it came in this big silver thing, and then they poured it out, and it was a whole configuration. It's like Kenyan coffee, not Kenyan, Ethiopian. Oh my goodness, where coffee was first discovered, right? In Ethiopia, coffee was first discovered in Africa. Africans first made coffee. Well, when they bought the coffee, I'm sitting there in this gorgeous airport in Qatar, and I'm sipping this delicious coffee that they poured, and I'm asking, how did I get here? Like, this wasn't on nobody's vision board. This is heaven. This is beyond what you can fathom. This is beyond what you can put together. Harmony, what happened? You did 9 countries in 10 days, or 7 countries. How many countries did you, 5 countries in 10 days or something like that? How did you do that? How does that happen?
Exactly. And like you said, that could not have been on anyone's vision board. I never even. Well, it actually was kind of funny because the year before I was walking through Atlantic City and there was a sign, and the sign said it was missing a letter. But when you read it, missing the letter, it said Tay in London. It was supposed to say stay in London. And I saw that sign and I was like, Tay in London. Okay, universe. And then like within the matter of months, I think that was September. And then in January, Tay was in London for like a 2-day layover.
Wow.
On my way to Dubai. So it's just funny, like that before I saw that sign, literally I saw the sign. I never even imagined all that would occur within 6 months from that day. Yeah. So yeah, certain things you can't even put on. You can create a vision board. I don't believe in those anymore. You can create a vision board. However, what the universe has in store is so much bigger than we can imagine. It's not even worth your time, honestly.
It's not worth your time. Now, I made a video to burn your vision boards. Burn them. I became convinced that my vision board was limiting me. Because what's on your vision board? Only what you know about or what you find in magazines. The greatest manifestations in my life could not have been fathomed. I didn't know about them. How could I have put it on a vision board? A vision board is inherently limited. Now, I'm not saying don't use pictures to focus your mind, give your mind some good things to chew on. I have Pinterest. I wrote through Pinterest. I have all these beautiful things on Pinterest. My Pinterest is off the charts. And I roll through Pinterest when I feel like it. Please don't put vision board as this is what I want, universe, because the universe has got so much more for you. So much more. I also made a manifestation secret video about this on my YouTube channel many years ago when I went to Bali. It said, oh, I love this, Ali, I love this. It said when I went to Bali, this video that I did was about me being in an outdoor shower. I don't know if any of y'all saw that video. Go watch that video on YouTube. It was a manifestation secret that dawned on me while I was in the experience. I'm in this outdoor shower. I'm showering. And I look up and there's the sky. A lot of bathrooms in Bali are outdoor, or the shower portion is outdoor, which is a great idea because the fresh air is sweeping through there all the time. You don't have stench. You don't have, like, how nutty is it that we do this? We seal up the whole bathroom, hermetically sealed up everything, then put a fake fresh air thing in there that smells like something from nature. You cut off all the trees, you cut all the bushes, you cleared all the nature, you put your house, you hermetically sealed your house, you sealed all the windows and doors, you literally sealed yourself inside a mausoleum, and then you bought a candle in that smells like nature. A fake ass candle that smells. That's what we do. How is that a good idea? In Bali, they're not that nutty. They have fresh air wafting through. You could be sitting in the bathroom, you're smelling flowers, real flowers from outside. Because it's a fresh air, open air bathroom. It's a great idea. Well, I stood there in that shower and I looked up and it dawned on me. Your best manifestations came to you. You didn't, I couldn't have put this on the vision board. I didn't know about it. Your best manifestations came to you. Your first kiss, your love, your baby, your children. They came to you as gifts of the universe. So then I decided, well, let me just live my whole life like that. Okay, who's next? Welcome to Dubai, Barbara.
I pinned the video to the top, and then we have Princess is next.
Oh, girl, how did you find that outdoor shower video so fast like that? I love it. Thank you.
It was the fairies.
Girl, them fairies is on point, let me tell you. All hail the fairy kingdom. Wow. Oh, shoot. Who's next?
Go ahead, Princess.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I get so emotional this morning. Get so emotional this morning. Get so emotional. Angels around me and reaching me and so long, 5-6 years. And they sent me so many numbers. And today this lesson is 69. And for me, the 69, it's when I say the number and just angel remind me, this does something about ending. So it's perfect. It is exactly. I am complete different person. I would say my soul finally connect with my mind and body is in line right now. There's this I am the light of the world. It's no time to waste, no energy to waste in the world waiting for me.
Oh.
You know, I've been trying to. I want to share this part of my experience, and I gotta share today. Irreplaceable. I remember, I think a week ago or something, Lay Princess mentioned about the conversation at her job. And someone mentioned about, said, you guys replaceable. Ever since I've been thinking about that, it's no one in this world replaceable. I think about my journey right now. If not because of Reverend Z, the message, I will never connect with Reverend Love. If not because Reverend Love, I will never connect with the whole family. The bullshit story finished because I have a huge family right here. You guys have been waiting for me. Actually, I wasn't ready. That's why it taken so long to meet all the beautiful souls. I was been telling myself I don't want to mention the name. Worry about if I forget anyone. But I list everybody. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody's name. I mean, having conversation with so many sisters, so we talk about nobody can replace you. Nobody can replace you. Nobody can replace you, because if not individual, everybody, my soul never complete. Not because I have a connection with the Dereka can replace Reverend Love. No way. It's just no comparison. Every individual, yeah, I have a place.
I have in my heart, have everybody's space. And at the same time, you have the same experience. Everything in this world, you just can't replace anything. Irreplaceable. I get a too emotional right now. I know my purpose. I take it back. I know my purpose before, and right now I just have a more confidence to moving forward. And this world really waiting for me. I do realize right now I have a mission. Yes, it's starting right now.
Ashe. We have a powerful purpose here. We have a mission here. Every morning we come together in community. Every morning we come here because we saw that the world was amiss. And the witches and the wizards and the warlocks and the magical beings of the world rose. And we prayed every morning and we meditated and we found the light within ourselves and we brought the light to the world and the world began to change. And war fell away because we were no longer warring within ourselves. And poverty was extinguished because we all tapped into abundance, infinite. And the word can't disappeared from all the dictionaries because we brought the possibilities and potentialities to all beings. And the world was flipped on a dime from crazy to bliss, from war to peace. Because the strong ones, the ones who stand in the gap, the energy workers, the energy healers, the magical beings, we decided to stand up and let our light shine. We decided to do something. We decided to be the salvation of the world. We decided. Ain't no turning back now. Who's next?
Good morning. I had a little bit of trouble getting into the meditation. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. I had a little trouble getting into the practice period, and I think my body was kind of lit up. And I'll practice it again later, but I realized last night I had heard about some gossip and then went to go view some drama about it on social media, and I probably got sucked into that drama hole for like half an hour. I didn't respond or anything, but I missed the meditation this morning, and maybe if I hadn't gone down that hole, I wouldn't have missed the meditation this morning. But I realized I don't need to take invitations to drama, to view drama as tempting as it may be. It's a waste of time, to look at that stuff. And I'm going to do some cleansing today, so that will probably help wash everything through. I had, when I heard about the Christian Witches Fest conference, I immediately went to go book a show in New Orleans, and it seemed to fall through yesterday, but it looked so. I was kind of thinking, well, maybe I won't go to New Orleans. But then I got another person that it might be able to do a guarantee to go there. And what else is going on? I talked to over an hour last night to a record label that is interested in signing me but they don't have any well-known artists on their roster.
Wait a minute, you said you talked to a record label for over an hour about possibly signing you to the record label?
Yeah.
Is this in alignment with your intention of $1 million a show?
It's not like a big record label.
But I mean, is it a step in that direction?
It's possible. So it's a small label. They don't have any big artists on there. And I was on the label before that was just like a Bandcamp label, which is just online. They put the music on Bandcamp, and that didn't really go very well. And so this label seems to be doing a lot more for their artists, but they would link to my Bandcamp, so I'm kind of used to like getting paid, directly from my Bandcamp, but the money would go to them first, and it would be like an 80-20 split. They want me to release my remix album with them, but I already released a couple, like 3 of the tracks on my own, pretty much, and I already did all this on my own, and I paid for a couple of the remixes, so it doesn't really make sense. But they are talking about like mainstream radio stuff, like Clear Channel, but I don't really know if they would be able to help that much at all. But they do seem really, motivated, and like they're doing a lot more than my last.
So quick question: if you close your eyes and you go straight to your gut, what was the first thing that came to you when you spoke to them? Yes or no?
I think my gut is probably a no.
Yeah, because when it comes up as a yes, it's a hell yeah. For me, it's either a hell yeah or it's a no. That's how I live my life. It's either a hell yeah or it's a no. If I get a that's not a signal from spirit, maybe do this. It's like I love it and I'm like yes, or I leave it alone. Because the ego will have me chasing little wisps of fantasies, of maybes, and what could be's and what ifs, and I won't get the prize. I don't follow those. It's a hell yeah or it's a no. And that made it very clear for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's you can do so much independently as an artist these days that it doesn't make a lot of sense to go with a small label, although it would be nice to have support, but it would just probably be better to hold out for a bigger label.
Good for you, because with regard to your art, you always know in the core of your being, you know the best way for you. You know who's for you. You know what to do. And so trust that. It's not that we don't know, it's that we kind of question that inner knowing. Like the inner knowing either says yes or no. It never says maybe. And if it doesn't feel like a fiery yes, I love it, then okay, I'll let it pass, because I will trust that something even better is coming. Trust your gut, right, Jen? And trust that your even better is coming.
Okay, thank you.
How does that feel? Does it feel right? Does it resonate?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm complete.
Ashe, I'm looking for that $1 million show. I'm looking for that $1 million show. Who's next? Thank you, Jenny.
Good morning, everybody. This is Dia.
Hey, Dia. How you loving?
I'm good. I feel like I had a breakthrough with this last lesson. My grievances hide the light of the world in me. And what I wanted to say about it is, when we were at 222, I had a conversation with Harmony, and she was saying all these things about me that made me leave there thinking, what in the world was she talking about? What does she see that I don't see?
What did she say? I'm curious.
Well, in a nutshell, she was basically saying how she sees my light.
Yeah.
She sees the light emanating from me. And I never felt like my light was shining anywhere because I always felt invisible everywhere that I went. Like, unless I was in the military, in my drill sergeant uniform, I felt invisible.
Wow.
And so when she acknowledged that she saw that, I accepted it and I acknowledged it too in the moment. But when I got home back to my everyday life, I meditated on that a lot, and I kept thinking, what does she see? How come I can't see it? How come I feel like nobody else sees it? But I realized, for one, that was the difference that it made to be in the room with a bunch of people that are like-minded spiritually, materially, the whole nine. And that was the difference that it made for me, because I had been in so many circles where I was not in that type of environment. And it was, to me, just an environment of acceptance the whole way around. Like, I could just be me, period. No other identities, no other costumes that I needed to wear or anything like that. I could just be who I felt like I was. And I said, that made all the difference, because when I sat back and meditated on yesterday, love holds no grievances, and today my grievances hide the light of the world in me, I had to replace that word grievances with my resistance. Because at the end of the day, that's what grievances felt like to me. Like when we had to sit down and think about all of the people that we had grievances with, no one came to mind except for me. My face was the only face that I saw in every situation. And I said that I am the common denominator. And when I first learned about Ho'oponopono, initially in the state of mind that I was in, at first it made me harder on myself, like I looked at it in a negative way. But then after learning more about Ho'oponopono and meditating on that, I realized that no, this is not a negative thing. This is a good thing, because this puts me back in the control tower, and I'm the one calling the shots. And so I decide whether, like you said to Lake Princess this morning, I decide whether I want to just keep letting it hinder me and keep holding on to it, or I want to just drop it. So since we came back from 222, my whole schedule has been off, like completely off. Like, I went back to doing like I used to do, staying up all night and then sleeping in all day. And if it weren't for this course, I probably would have slept the whole day and just stayed up all night. But it worked in that it helped me to work out my grievances in the physical. And so I did, like you said when we spoke last time, and I did attract an accountability partner. And so I've been working with my partner, and at the same time, I also attracted a couple of group coachings in other areas of my life, which were around food and mental mindset. So in the group coaching between the group coaching classes and the accountability partner, the breakthrough came when I woke up this morning and I felt light and I felt just generally good. Like the heaviness was off of me. It was because of what I did before I went to bed last night. And so the goal that I had set with my accountability partner, all week I had put off working on that stuff, just sitting with the heaviness, the grievances, you know. And finally, when I came home from working last night, I had made up my mind that regardless of how I feel when I get home, that's what I'm doing, right? So I spent the rest of my night till about 2 o'clock this morning working on that. And when I finished, I wasn't tired, I wasn't sleepy, I felt good, and I woke up this morning feeling even more energized. And it was because I started taking action. Because what I realized between yesterday's lesson and today is that when I left 222, I left with a sense of dissatisfaction with myself because I wasn't taking the actions that I knew that I needed to be taking to be in the same boat with all of you all, so to speak. And so that's where that became a heaviness to me and a major grievance. But when I finally did, like you were telling like Princess to do, and just drop it, like last night, I said, forget about all that. I got stuff I gotta do, and I'm just gonna do it. Regardless of, I'm not gonna worry about how it works out. I'm just gonna do my part, and that's it. And it just felt relieving to me, and that's my watchword that I came up that to get out of all of my heaviness is that what actions can I take to make me feel relief? And that's what made me feel the relief that I had been seeking, because it enabled me to also feel a release of that burden that I had been carrying around, just taking the action. And so that's all I wanted to say today. I'm complete.
Delicious. Dia, how do you know that you weren't where everyone else was? Like, you know, we have in our mind, oh my goodness, I'm not where everyone, how do you know?
Well, I guess what I'll say is, when I think about my life up until this point, just for example, just I'll give an example to kind of make it clear. Okay, when I joined the military, I didn't join with the mindset of staying in and retiring and things of that nature. So now on the other side of that, had I gone in with that mindset, this would have been the year that I would have retired. So with that on my mind, I always feel like I'm not where I should be financially.
So what you're saying is that if you had stayed and you retired this year, this would be your 20 years, then you would be getting a certain amount of money every single month.
Right. However, I didn't go in with the mindset of staying in because I never had the mind of that being the means with which I sustained my financial life going forward. So I never depended on that. But it still is in the back of my mind that I could have had that had I had that mindset. But when I look at a lot of the women younger than me in the mindset that they're in with us now, it makes me lament the fact that I wasn't in that mindset. And that's what makes me have that thought that I am not where I should be with my peers.
Gotcha. That's a grievance. That's a grievance against your former self, right? That if I had just Yes, decided for this, then I would be here. But we don't know that that's true, right? We don't know that, right?
Right, and that was what really just made me get a hold of the lessons between yesterday and today and decide to drop it, because the bottom line is I can choose to keep that mindset and keep my light being hidden by it, or I can choose to let that go, drop it, like you said, and take the actions now that I know need to be taken to move forward to where I see myself.
Come on.
Instead of continuously staying stuck in the back. So like I said, instead of saying my grievances, I said my resistance, my fears, my shame, my doubt, my embarrassment, everything. I just replaced the word grievances with those things and just showed myself how all of that stuff is hiding my light, so that I cannot even see it to let it shine.
I'm over here want to do backflips. Come on, because you're preaching here. I can't see my own light because I'm holding things against myself. If I had just done that, maybe I would be where a different place now. When no, that's not so. No, that's a grievance against myself. I'm gonna drop it. I love it, Dee. I love it. Because we don't know where everyone is and we don't know where we are in relation to other people, because that's not the object of the exercise. The object of the exercise is to be the light of the world. So if I'm being the light of the world right now, I'm fulfilling my function. That's it. Regardless of how much money I have, I don't know. The universe is going to take care of me. It's going to give me food today. It's going to give me shelter. It's going to give me everything I require. It's probably going to give me money too. It gives me money every single day. Thank you, Jesus. Yes. I love that you replaced grievances. It could be replaced with regrets. My regrets are hiding the light in me. I can't even see my own light because I'm in darkness, and then I have other people in darkness with me. Yet if I come to the light, I have other people in the light with me. Ooh, I had a question also earlier about your expression when you shared about not being seen, because this is something that I share as well. Am I heard? Am I seen? That was an inner conversation for many, many, many years. And it can be again if I'm not careful. How do I want to ask this question? Help me, Holy Spirit. Okay. Was taking on the drill sergeant role, persona, and uniform about not being seen? Because if I put this on, they're going to see me and they're going to have to listen.
I would say no, because that wasn't my mindset going in, and that wasn't why I wanted to be a drill sergeant. When I was in high school and I tried out to be the drum major in the high school band, I didn't get it, and my band director said the reason he didn't choose me was because my style was too crisp, like in the military. So that planted the seed for me, and I never was in ROTC all throughout high school, but when I was in college, I joined the Marine Corps, then I joined the Navy on the delayed entry program, and each time something happened to prevent me from going. And finally, I ended up taking a military history class because I felt like, well, Lord, you put this desire in me to want to be in the military, but between my mother and the rest of the people around me, somebody always prevents me from going. So I just want to see, maybe I just am curious to learn about military and history, and so let me just take this class and see if I can get this out, work it out like this instead of joining the military. So I military history class. I was the only female in the class. I did exceptionally well because I love history and I love military stuff. So I really excelled in the class. So my instructor gave me an invite to a military program where you would be trained up to be, well, you would be groomed in order to be an officer, because when you have a college degree, they want you to go in as an officer first and foremost. So I went to that summer program, and we went with the mindset of knowing that when we got our college degrees, if we accepted this offer from this program, we would be channeled into the officers program and come out as officers in the military. But the first day when I was in camp at Fort Knox, and my senior drill sergeant walked in the room, that's when I decided that I wanted to be a drill sergeant, because I saw him as somebody that was not only a teacher, but he was also a person that was doing what he taught. He wasn't just a dictator type where he would just tell you what to do and you do it. He was the person that he told you what to do, showed you what to do, and then got right down there and did it with you. And that's the kind of teacher I always saw myself being. Now, my mother, all my life, she retired 40 years of being a teacher, so I knew what a regular teacher looked like. But when he crossed my path, I said, if I ever become any type of teacher, that's the kind of teacher I want to be. And so what I would say that did for me is help me learn how to be confident in being myself and expressing all of the talents and gifts that God has given me. It just gave me the confidence to do that, because as a child growing up, I always felt like I was invisible, because my mother was a gospel singer, is a gospel singer, and she's very outspoken, and she would always say to people whenever I was in situations with her, oh, she's quiet, she's shy, and I'm like, but that's inside, I'm saying that's not me, because when I'm at school, nobody knows me like the way my mother describes me. Only my mother describes me as that. And I always felt like two different people. But when I joined the military, I felt like I could be a whole person. So I felt like when I left the military in 2009, I felt like I split back into my two different selves of having to be one way with my friends and another way with my family, instead of being my full self full time. And so that's why I feel like that mantle it was like putting on armor where I could deflect any of those negative things and just be myself. So in my latter years, I can see how it would show up as me thinking that was my way to become seen and heard and not invisible. But it was, for me, it was just my way of finally having permission to be myself 24/7. Because when I was in the military, I would sing and call cadence, and I got coins from all kind of high people in the military and things like that, because I was in my element and I enjoyed being able to be seen and heard without my mother placing this shadow over me outside of that, where everybody thought I was something that I wasn't. And I was like, sometimes I would just go and look through my yearbooks just to see what people had written about me, to remind myself that the stuff my mother was saying was not true. So when you all met me at 222, that's the first time since I got out of the military in 2009 that I've actually been in an environment where I felt like I could just be DJ Lewis and not whoever answer your question.
Woo! There is so much deliciousness in this share. And when I'm hearing family, if you are keeping a journal, if you're writing every day, I journal and I write, and I'm deep in what this is a buffet Spirit prepares for us every single morning. What I'm hearing here, family, is authenticity. Do we give ourselves permission to be completely 100% authentic and be loved for who we are and not for who we're not? Do we love ourselves enough to show our real self and know that we'll be loved? Showing up as the real self, not the representative, not the stunt double, the egoic personality. I should be doing this. I should stand over here. I should wear this dress. I should say, aha, ha, ha, hallelujah. I should eat with this like this. I should be with these people. I shouldn't go in that crystal shop because that's not in line with the persona. Fuck it. Fuck it all. That's why when we talk about the Christian Witches Convention, we talk about coming as you are. If you're a fairy, we need to see some fairy wings on your back. We need to see witch hats on heads. We need to see cloaks and superhero capes, all of that. Because we know that there is a being in there bursting, desirous of bursting out. It's called the authentic self. That's delicious. That is delicious, dear. Congratulations. Trust me, come as you are. If you can sing, sing. If you can cook, cook. If you can do, we will encourage you to bring all your gifts, all of them, all of them, all of them. Hello? Y'all better bring it. Did y'all see those witches in those pictures? Look, I got to take you real quick to the Christian Witches Convention. And then I have a word for our beautiful sister, Ali. Ali, I read what you shared yesterday about your children. And I'm going to share about the Christian Witches Convention, and just go to christianwitches.com and let's talk about these children. Here's the deal. We have so much judgment on mothers and what we do. Mothers, we have so many judgments on everything. If you were being completely honest, here's Ali's message. Ali Love TV. Yesterday was so needed, Rev. After giving my baby up for adoption and letting my sons live with their fathers, I have been secretly jacked up. I really needed lesson 68 and your words, beautiful. And yesterday we talked a lot about motherhood and babies and children and loss and the fruit of the womb and losing the fruit of the womb and all of that, and soul circling. Here's the next piece to add to that. Let go of the judgment on your parents and on yourself as a parent. We think that we are supposed to have a baby, get pregnant, and have a baby. Okay, now I got to take care of this baby for the rest of their life because you're going to be a parent forever. You don't have to do that. You can get pregnant, have the baby, and say, here, you can have this baby. And someone else can say, thank you. I wanted a baby. I couldn't have one. Thank you so much. We'll take good care of this baby. Like, why do we have judgment on that? I don't want a baby. I had the baby. I don't want a baby. Why do we have judgment on that? We do not allow people to be who they really are. Everybody's not a parent. Everybody don't want to be a parent. Everybody don't want to have kids. Everybody that have kids don't want to be a mother. Everybody that have kids don't want to be a father. But we have made so much judgment on it that we do not allow people to be their authentic self and say what's really going on for them, because we would rather people lie to us. Lie to me and tell me you want to be a good mother, because I don't want to acknowledge that I don't really want to be a mother sometimes. Man, sometimes them kids would get on my nerves. I'd be like, look, where did these kids come from? Oh yeah, I had them. You don't feel like being a mother at every moment. Be honest. You don't feel like being a mother at all, and you got kids. And maybe grandma's taking care of the kids. Beautiful. We don't need, drop the judgments. The grievances are the problem. Not that people don't want to have a kid. Right? Come on, Ali Love. I love that you said that. She said, I suck as a mom. Gave my kid up for adoption and gave my kids to their fathers. Good. You didn't want to be a mother, you told the truth. I wish more people would do that. And then we would have less abandoned and marginalized kids and kids, no toys in the living room. I know that's right. Look, you can go visit them at their dad's house. Wow, his house is all jacked up. I come back to my peaceful, lovely little house. Beautiful. Like, we do not allow people to be truthfully who they are. Every woman doesn't want to be a mother. Stop it. Every man doesn't want to be a father. Let it go. Someone could have a baby and it's a perfectly good womb and they had that baby, and if they were telling the truth, I don't really want this baby, I don't really see myself doing the whole nursing I'm being true with myself. And there's this person right here who their womb is not working quite the way they want it to, and they adore and love this baby and they want this baby. Like, what's wrong with that? Let's just here you go. And stop all the judgments, people. We made it all up. We made all that shit up, and none of it is authentic, and none of it is real, and none of it is true. How many times have you had parents that forced themselves to be parents and they didn't really want to be parents, so they were not completely present to the children? That was a greater crime than just being authentic. Because grandma probably say, oh, bring them to me, I want them. Or maybe the neighbor might say, oh, bring them to me, I want them. Or the daddy might say, bring them to me, I want them with me all the time. Good. Robert about to have me choke. Robert said, Woo, Rev, you a damn heretic. Stop it before the electronic short circuit again. Robert, we're going to blow up every computer and every iPad, every phone we have, because this judgment has got to stop, okay? Stop it. And anybody that's a parent and tell you they feel like being a parent all the time, I just think they straight up lying. I mean, even though there are those kinds of people, they just love having the children with them all the time. My mother-in-law was like that. She just loved babies. She loved having the children with her all the time. Oh, she loved the babies. She would just gravitate straight to the babies. They loved her. She was like a baby whisperer or something, And truth be told, there was a lot of people in the family like, you know what? You getting on my nerves. Go to grandma's house. That's what we would say, because we knew grandma. Here she comes with the love. She was a saint. We ain't all like that. I ain't no saint. I'm trying to save my soul. Sometimes them damn kids need to go to grandma's house. Please, grandma, ma. Oh yeah, bring them on. Thank you. Look, I used to drive from Maryland to New York to take my kids for the summer up to their dad and to their mother and to my mothers and all of them. I would do it in one day. I would drive to New York like a bat out of hell, driving 80 miles an hour. The last day of school, can you get them the last day of school? The last day of school, Mom, we just had at school. Throw your lunchbox in the trunk. We go to New York. And I love my kids. I'm telling you, I love them people. And I'm telling you, I would drive to New York like a bat out of hell, 80 miles an hour up the New Jersey Turnpike, getting tickets and breaking. I got to get these kids to grandma. And then the officer would just look at me like, gone. Never mind. We give you a police escort. You taking the kids to grandma. We give you a police escort. Child, I would get to grandma's house. I would be like, kids, get ready, because I'm about to U-turn, you jump out. I ain't even stopped the damn car. Jump out right now. They go grandma's house. I'm not even going in to say hi to grandma and all that. I'm trying to get my life. Okay, bye. Pick you up September 1st. School starts September 2nd. But Mom, we need time to get ready for school. I'll get you ready for school from a distance. I'm going to love you from a distance. I love you. Bye. Bye. I couldn't wait to get rid of them kids. Then 2 or 3 days later, you'd be like, oh, what the kids doing? You know you love them. What they doing? Like, girl, go live your life. I mean, can we be honest? Can we just be refreshingly truthful and honest around here? All right, I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all love your kids all the time. I did not. That's why I'm on A Course in Miracles, to learn to love everybody and be at peace with everybody all the time. Okay, who's next?
And Lord knows, seemed like I've spent the first 13 years of my life with her.
Oh.
I was so glad when she said, Mommy, I don't need you no more. I got friends.
I can do it myself. Good.
raising children. So I don't know if I'm next or not. So let me know.
Oh, who's next? Harmony, who's next? And then we can turn off hand raising so we can complete out for the day. Who's next?
Rosa.
All right. Go ahead, Mama Rosa.
You mean on the first time I actually came in on time? I was excited. I'm excited. Look, I was just laughing at your statement. I didn't have a grandma to take my kids to. I didn't have one kid, but I spent 13 years with her every day of my life. I need to do that multiplication. 13 times 365 days. She didn't seem to leave my side. I was so glad when she told me, I got friends now, Mama. Can I go see my friends?
Bye, Mom.
I was like, yeah, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, life is good.
Yeah.
I love this lesson that we are talking about because we are training our mind. And, I need to be reminded that I can think of things differently, that I can choose to see something different. And I don't necessarily have to name what I want to see. I just want to see this differently and more pleasantly. And it is about training your mind to the point that all of these counter thoughts can be deactivated by something that we have learned in this travel through A Course in Miracles.
Yes.
Lesson 69 is amazing. There's every lesson. I can't say that any one is any better than the other because they're all stepping points to unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. And that's basically what it's all about. I like to say that I am the person that when I catch myself or I feel myself moving into a negative response or a negative feeling about a situation that comes up, that my mind will instantly take me to a thought in the Course. That's not necessarily how I am right now, but that's how I want to be. I want to be that person that can instantly wake up to that concept so that I will stay on the path of truth. Not my truth, but of the truth. And lesson 69 is a pure way of knowing it. And I'm learning how to use this thing called Playhouse. You guys amaze me how you can point or pin concepts to your room, to the chat. I love that. Somebody needs to show me how. I'm going to go on YouTube and find out how does this really work. Because I have been I have been brought up to thoughts and I have stuff to say and I just don't know how to set it up like the expert that I know I am. Sorry, I'm still learning, right? We are always. But always remember that the Course is an answer to the situation that may arise. And we have to become so inundated with these thoughts that they instantly come up when the situation calls for us. Like those people who can give you a Bible verse for everything that you're talking about doing. In the Course, we can actually give you a thought to change that experience that you're feeling in your situation. So I love this Course, and I'm so grateful to be here with you guys and training our minds. And it's amazing how it just keeps expanding. People just keep adding, coming in. And I'm grateful. I'm complete. I'm complete. I am definitely complete.
Delicious Mama Rosa. Do you have updates on when you're going to Ghana? What's happening with that?
Girl, I can't. I'm leaving it up to God. I've been trying to called my sister in Kenya on WhatsApp, and she hasn't been able to answer it. And I don't know whether it's because her Wi-Fi is down. I know in Africa they have these cafes where you have to go. Maybe she's not at the cafe. I don't know. I'm looking forward to August. That's what I'm planning. She wants to actually do a retreat in Kenya, so she has sent me.
Let us know when you do that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm still in the process. My date is August 2nd. That's my date, and I actually said that that's a month before my birthday. I intend and would love to have my birthday be in Kenya on my birthday. However, my sister and my family just said, "Oh, we're gonna have our yearly cookout on September 4th," and I'm like, "Y'all need to stop." But anyway,
when is your birthday, Rosa? When is your birthday?
September 2nd.
September 2nd.
I'm a Virgo. September 2nd.
Okay. So we're all holding space for your beautiful triumphant unfoldment in Ghana when Spirit lights you on wings of angels over there, blessed and abundant. Ashe.
Thank you, and I am right with you. I appreciate it. Please pray for me.
Absolutely.
Keep me in.
Absolutely.
Don't pray for me. Just claim it for me.
Yeah, we're holding it. We're holding it as a current reality, a right now truth. I see you in Ghana. It's a current reality. It's a right now truth. Ashe.
I am happy. Life is good. You guys
It's
have
so
a great day.
Bless you. Appreciate you. Love you. Who's next?
Hello, Taisi.
Hola.
This is Chandra.
Hey, Chandra.
Look,
girl.
Cracking up about the kids.
Oh man, them kids, some little nappy-headed kids. I couldn't wait to get them out of my hair.
I was dying because I remember when you were saying that. I remember having a conversation about with somebody who was like, "Oh, I can't wait to have kids because kids is this, the kids that." And I said, "Girl, them kids overrated. Girl, you know they got mad with me." I said, being a mother is overrated. I'm just gonna tell you that. I said it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong. I said, wait till you get them. You're gonna see. And it was so funny how that judgment, they were firing up at me because I said that. And I was like, I'm a mother. I don't mean any harm towards you.
Yeah.
But it is a fact of being overrated. And I was telling them, I said, you know, it is what it is. I said, you come across all these kids, each one of them had their own different personalities. You have to deal with this one differently. You can't approach this one the same way. So when you talked about those kids, I was cracking up because when my mom used to call them kids, I had to be on 2 wheels. In that house. But yesterday I was listening to Kristen, and I wanted to just give her just what she was talking about, and she shared, which was very courageous of her. Just and I felt honored to be here to hear her share that. But they come back to you. When you guys just talk about the kids come back to you, they come back to you. I want to share a quick story. I had 2 abortions, 1 miscarriage. So when I was, this is my husband I'm with now, is my second husband. So when I met him, he had 1 daughter. He has 1 daughter. And he was previously married. He is a widow, and he took care of his deceased wife, 2 children, when she passed. And I told him, you know, that was honorable that you did that because, you know, usually the family come in and take him, but he told the family he got him. He's a stepdad. So fast forward, I finally met his daughter. When I met her, she instantly saw me. She was about 4. She tugged her mother on her shoulder. She said, "Mom," she said, I want to call her my mama.
Oh.
And her mom was like, "You want to call her your mama? You just met her for the first time." She was like, "But I want to call her mom."
Oh.
So fast forward, She's 20 years old now since she was 4. She wants to be with me and her dad. And I went to a psychic one time, 2 psychics, and they told me that the 2 abortions I had was my baby boy and her. They made their way back. So they do come back to you. So no grievances. No grievances, no judgment. They come back. And it has been truly a wonderful thing. I had each one of them come back, and that's the amazing thing about it. But when you shared that, I was just really cracking up at you with this story. Another thing, I got my assignment from the 222 when it was telling me that I was going to have retreats. I got my first divine assignment to go to Costa Rica. I said yes, and it's telling me that my first retreat center would be there. And I was just sitting there in meditation, and it said, "Go to Costa Rica. That's where your first retreat is going to be at."
Boom, just like that. Girl, is your bags packed?
Look,
Is your bags packed?
I remember when you said the whole body thing. You was like, I was like, "Go to Costa Rica."
Hello.
I said yes. But here's the funny thing, though. Ever since I said yes, and I pulled my suitcases out, my back went out. So, Princess, I was just sharing something with Princess about my ears on the plane, how for the first time I had air ear. It was horrible. So Princess was like, what that's about? And I was like, what's that about? And she told me about the whole Louise Hay.
Yes.
Heal yourself. And I'm a big, huge person on heal yourself. So I went last night. I was like, okay, what is going on with my back? This is crazy to the point my husband has to help me get out of bed.
Wow.
So I looked up lower back pain, and it is truly a fear of money.
Ooh, yes, because lower back does have to do with support, money, resources, finances, all of that.
Yes.
Lower back.
Princess, I know you're here. Thank you for that. But yes, and I've been doing the meditation, and everything is still saying yes. And I realized, and I just want to say, y'all, look, this divine message, I ain't know, it scared the shit out of me.
That's right.
So I'm going to do it. I've been researching Costa Rica. I made the decision to go in April before the rainy season. And my husband, he's all for it. He's going to be gone on a boat. He was like, baby, go do it. Because I realized, I said, babe, I think I'm on a hero journey. And we're going to be on a journey together. But the vision showed me that we're both going to be doing these retreats for couples.
Oh.
He and I in Costa Rica.
Yes.
So I've been doing affirmations. I've been looking at the fact of the whole support thing. And it's just, even if the fear takes over you, do it scared.
That's right.
And just see what's unfold. Because I did it scared going to Miami, and it was the most beautiful thing that I could ever have done. And everything came to me. The money came. Everything came. So I'm moving forward, and I'm trusting the divine, and I'm just in full trust. And I am complete.
I want to jump up and run around this house. If I wasn't in my family's house and some people were trying to rest, I would be jumping up, running around this whole house because y'all know how loud I am. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Ashe, ashe. Ashe.
And it's funny that she said that because just yesterday, I took a screenshot of this image, and it says 9 types of muscle tension caused by trapped emotions. And it goes through a few of the one, and it says under lower back, that lower back pain can be caused by guilt, shame, and unworthiness. So when you were just speaking about the money thing, I was like, ooh, I bet that ties into unworthiness. And I had screenshot this because my back never hurts. And lately, in that lower spot, I had felt something, and I was like, what is that about? And then so when I saw this image, I had took the screenshot because it went over a lot of things: upper back, grief, sorrow, and sadness, shoulder tension, burdens and responsibilities, neck tension, fear and repressed self-expression, middle back, insecurity and powerlessness, and the stomach, inability to process emotion. So I just simply took the screenshot and I was just being with it. And it's amazing how when we truly say disease is dis-ease in the body, I truly believe that. And I'm complete.
Absolutely, and I'm 100% with you with that one. So yes, thank you for that share.
This is the aspect of A Course in Miracles that is not always readily visible. That in all these meditations, you are expressing, releasing pent up emotion trapped in the body. The body is a receptacle for recording. So it records everything that happens. That's really what aging is. It's just a record. It's a long damn record. It's recording everything that's happened. And in meditation, you're clearing the slate. You're taking out the memory. You're doing an upgrade to your system. There was something else someone said in the chat that I saw that was very fascinating that I wanted to address. Who's next? I'll bring it up.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
Good morning. How you doing, Reverend Z? How you loving it?
Fantastic, Reverend Val. So good to be on here this morning. And it's all in divine order that I would be coming next behind Chandra. Blessings to you, Sister Chandra. God bless you. I see you in Costa Rica with your retreat center and people coming to experience all that you have for them. Costa Rica is one of my places that I desire to attend. So I'll come to your retreat center and experience that with you.
Come on.
Come on.
So first of all, Reverend Val, I wanted to say about the children. I wasn't one of those parents that just, I was one of those ones that anytime I could get a babysitter, I wanted it because I needed my time to do my thing. So give thanks. I love my children, my grandchildren, but I was happy to have those times when I didn't have those children around because I love them. I came on this morning for a couple of reasons. Yesterday, I had an amazing experience with Dr. Jiwa Lee, and I'm so happy that I found this community and that you, Reverend Val, introduced her because I've been having over so many years this challenge with my knee. And so, Harmony, I do want to hear what you had to say about the knee thing. But the everything that I've read, everything that I've heard from other spiritual teachers, Louise Hay and others have always talked about knee problems being inability to move forward. And I was like, okay, trying to really figure that out. Like, how am I creating this knee experience by my inability to move forward? So when we were talking about grievances yesterday, and Dr. Jiva said, well, what grievances do you have? I said, well, I don't really have any grievances. Really? Yeah, no grievances? No, I'm fine. I don't have no grievances about nobody. I love everybody. Everything's good. I've done Ho'oponopono around grievances, and I finally came to the fact that I do have grievances.
Yay! Because when you said you don't have any grievances, I was about to be like, what? Okay, now let's go a little deeper. Yes.
And part of what I discovered in my work with her was that way back, since 2005, as a matter of fact, because I was, I had my retreat center. That's why I said about Chandra. I had a beautiful retreat center in Jamaica. It was my plan. It was my intention that I was going to retire in Jamaica and live there for the rest of my life. Had this beautiful retreat center which God gave me. I didn't even go look for it. Spirit just landed into my lap. And everything was working out amazingly until it wasn't. And I found myself, it was like one of those movies, it's going away, and I'm trying to get to it, and it's going further and further away. I lost my retreat center, and I was doing everything. I was like, okay, God, I can't do it with my husband at the time. It's not him and me. It's me and somebody else. It's whatever. And then Mommy got sick, and I had to come home. And I've never been able to see myself going back to that again. And I've carried that for so long because I just knew that was what God had given me as my purpose. And I was supposed to do this. And even though I've done retreats and I've done women retreats back to Jamaica, it hasn't been the same as having that place. And I don't know whether I'm supposed to just let that go. Like, okay, Zakia, you had that for that period of time, and maybe that wasn't what you're supposed to do. I'm still working on that. But what I'm coming to realize is, and I even wrote about it in my book, and I don't even put my book out there. I wrote all about it, my journey. So I'm holding myself back in so many ways. Excuse me. And I realized that is what's happening with my inability to move with ease. And so when Dr. Jiwa was working on me, she did some beautiful energy work with me, and I was able to actually get out of the bed and not have to hold on to the table and, all the things that I had been doing. Excuse me. And so I'm realizing that the more and more and the deeper I get into releasing this and then coming to whatever the new purpose is, whatever God has left for me. Then the other part is I am a caregiver for my mommy. I love my mother dearly. Mommy's almost 90. And I still don't see myself being able to achieve the things that I desire to achieve because I am my mother's caregiver. May have to end up being my brother's caregiver. So I've got all of this stuff.
I want to ask a question about that, Reverend C.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me many years ago, and not revealing anything confidential, of course, in coaching, it reminds me many years ago that you were almost Muhanna's caregiver for a minute.
Yeah.
And do you remember the conversation we had about that?
I don't, but please remind me.
Okay, that I said, when it looked like, you were going to be the one to take care of her because of the circumstances, not saying anything private and personal, of course. And I remember you sharing this story with other people as well, because Moana has a beautiful home and a beautiful mother. I asked you what would happen, and you were like, she cannot go into foster care. She cannot go into the system. I can't let her go. I will not let that happen to this child. And I said, what would happen if you let her go? And you did let her go. And someone wonderful picked her up. Right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I came to realize that was not mine to do.
Right. So the question is, in all the love you have for your mother, and all the love you have for your husband, your brother, is that mine to do? Or am I doing it to delay what is mine to do, or to avoid it altogether because there's so much hurt and disappointment and pain associated with it? I would rather come here and do something that I know is harmless, take care of mom. And family, I'm not saying don't take care of your mother and father. Honor your mother and your father, of course. I'm going to tell you something that happened in our family, and perhaps this may shed some light on it. When my mother, she had me when she was 19, and she was not married. She had my brother 2 years later when she was 21. She was still not married. My mother was a rebel and a heretic and doing whatever that damn well she felt like doing until she met the witnesses when I was 3. And then they were like, hey, you could have a beautiful life. And then she got her life together. She got a husband. She got an apartment. Well, after she got married, her and her husband, they got married. We were all together, the 4 of us. Then she had my brother, and then she had my daughter. My daughter, I'm calling her my daughter, it was my sister. When she had my brother, I was so happy. I was like 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. And my other brother was like 11 or so. He's 2 years younger than me. Then there was like an 11-year gap. And then we got this baby in the house. He was like my doll. I used to run home from school, scoop him up. This is my doll. Then my mother got pregnant again. Now, in between having my brother and my sister, she had an operation. She had cysts on her ovaries, and she went in. She had an operation. When she had the operation, they took off half. They took off one of the ovaries, and they also took half the fallopian tubes. And she said to the doctor, "Can I get pregnant again? Because I really don't want to get pregnant again. This man that I married wanted to have a child. He has a child. I ain't trying to have no more kids. I don't want no more kids. I don't barely want the kids I got, but I love them." And she really, really wanted me when she got pregnant with me because she was in I'll show you. She was wanting to show her mother how to be a right mother. Like that's what she was in. She was in I'll show you. I'm gonna love this child. I'm gonna grow. So I was like her pride and joy. Then she had my brother. And then she had my brother, my younger brother, more because she was now in a relationship and in a marriage, and he had never had children. He had no children. And so she had my brother. Then she was like, I'm over it. I'm done. The doctor said, no, you probably won't be able to get pregnant again. It'd be highly unlikely. Okay, so a couple of years pass. My mom gets pregnant. She don't know she's pregnant. She's just walking around. Remember, this was like 30 some years ago. They were very different when you were having children. They weren't like they are now. Now they're just ridiculous. They think you can't even pee in a cup by yourself. But back in the day, you didn't go to a doctor every 10 minutes when you were pregnant. And so she was feeling something, and her stomach kept getting bigger. She was like, oh, I got so much gas. This is, and it started moving. She was like 5 months pregnant. Because see, pregnancy was completely out of her mind. She thought she had this operation. There's no way she's going to be having kids. She goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, she's like, I got all this gas and my stomach keeps bloating. I'm bloated and all that. He said, your gas has legs. And she was like, what you talking about? He's like, you're pregnant. She was like, ah. My mother went into the deepest depression. She came home from the doctor, and she was a Jehovah's Witness. She came home from the doctor, she went straight into bed. I can't be pregnant again. She was in denial. They can't have abortions. And then back in the day, you 5 months, you're probably not going to have an abortion. They couldn't have an abortion. She knew she had to have another child. She did not want this child. Did not want this child. Did not want this child. Don't want this child. She was in the bed. I was the oldest of the 3 of us, and I did everything in the house. The oldest always does things, clean the dishes, take care of the other kids, blah, blah, blah. Finally, my mother has this baby. She brings the baby home from the hospital, and it is the most adorable little girl. Oh my goodness, Alicia is so cute. Like she's extra cute. Extra cute, extra adorable. I scoop her up. I'm like, oh, I got another baby, right? Between my baker brother, who's now, taller. He's like 2'3" or something like that. And now we have this baby. I'm so happy. And so I'm just taking care of Alicia. I run home from school, get Alicia, get my kids. Everyone called them my kids. I took care of them kids. I was a teenager. Them kids were everywhere with me. They were in my wedding. Everywhere I went, they called those kids my kids because my mother was like, whatever. For my brother, she was like, okay, I'm going to consciously, intentionally have this child for this husband. The baby, I'm your mother, but I ain't got much for you. I'm gonna be your mother, but yeah. So that's the dynamic. And I was super happy, and Dad was super happy. Everybody in the family was so happy. It's a baby. And the mom was like, well, I am your mother, and I love you. And that's all I got for you. I can't muster nothing else, basically. And I cannot say that she didn't love my sister. She adored my sister. She was just in this depression. She was in this space within herself. People, you can't ask your mother and father to give you these things because your mother and father can't give you what they don't have. Well, I took care of this baby. Oh my goodness. I would be feeding the baby and I'd be taking care of the baby, changing the baby. Oh, this baby was just my world. And years pass, and they're teenagers. They tell me everything. They listen to me like I'm their mama. I get married. I bring them over to my house every so often. Hey, come over to my house. The whole dynamic was like, this is your mother, not this mother. Even though, of course, they know mom is their mom. Of course, I mean, there's no mistaking that mom is the mom of the house and the queen of the house. There's no mistaking that. And if mom ain't there, or if Valerie say go here and go there and do something, Valerie is like our surrogate mom kind of thing. Do you know? Look at how the universe set this up. Do you know that as the years go by, the universe always knows exactly what it's doing with each person? As the years go by, look how this worked out. I get this fellowship from the witnesses. I'm not talking to mom like before. Years later, 69, 70, mom gets cancer. Who comes home? Now, mom, I can't live in their house because I'm disfellowship from the witnesses. Who comes home to live with mom and to take care of mom other than my sister Alicia? Alicia takes care of mom the entire 2 years or so that mom was having her experience with cancer. Alicia did everything, made every meal, took mom down to the clinic down in Mexico because mom was going to natural clinic. She didn't do chemo. She didn't do operations. She didn't do radiation. She didn't do any of that. Her and my grandmother both had cancer. They had long, flowing, gorgeous, thick silver hair when they went out. They did not let the doctors do anything to them. She went to the Hoxie Clinic in Mexico. My sister went with her went to Mexico with her to the Hoxie Clinic. My sister went to the store to buy this exact thing, the black rice, everything they told them to eat at the Hoxie Center. My sister did all of that until my mom passed into spirit realms. God bless her soul, risen and seated in heaven at the right hand of our Father, Mother God. Do you know? Look at the circuits of healing that were completed with that. It wasn't me that was to be there taking care of mom. That was my job. My job in this whole divine flow, everybody has a job. Stay on your job and get out of other people's lanes. My job was to take care of the baby who would grow up and take care of the mother. That I would have my healing journey with the baby would have her healing journey with the mother. I would have my healing journey with my mother. All of this was cleared before my mom passed off this planet. Trust me, you ain't none of us smarter than this universe. I promise you. Ain't none of us smarter than this universe. And a lot of us is way out of our lanes because we're taking care of people out of obligation, a sense of I'm supposed to, a sense of if I don't, who else, rather than I know this is my job to do. And the only reason I share this with you, Reverend Z, is only because when I notice that I have a tendency to do something, for instance, if I notice that I have a tendency to be a caregiver rather than be on my destiny, I will deep dive every time I get ready to go do some caretaking, because I will know that is one of the ways that I distract myself from doing the big scary things in my life that I'm here to do and fulfilling my big huge destiny on this planet. And we distract ourselves. People pay very close attention to this spirit, very close attention, family, because spirit is speaking here to all of us. We distract ourselves from living our destiny in ways that will make it acceptable to not be great and not live our destiny. I'm taking care of my mother. I'm taking care of my father. I have kids. We will set it up to be acceptable and even saintly that we're doing this thing, yet we're not on destiny. And that's not God's plan and purpose. It just isn't. Look, if God had me to do something, I would tell everybody in my life, I love you. God got a plan to take care of you. I'm out. I'm going to Ghana. I'm going to Costa Rica. I'm going to Jamaica. God has a plan for all of you. God is taking care of all of you, and it ain't me. It's very simple. What are you hearing, Reverend Z? I know that was a lot, and that was a long story. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I can see how that, I can really see how that I'm doing that. Putting myself in a place that is not necessarily mine to be. And stopping myself from my true destiny. And a lot of it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's fear when my thinking, and I can remember thinking this is, well, would I really be able to go back and do this on my own? Would I really be able, is it really going to be successful? So I think I was really setting myself up for just what you just said, not living up to my destiny because of my fear that I wouldn't do it right or that I couldn't do it, all of that. So conveniently, I mean, I'm not saying that my mom being, you know, where she is in her experience, I created that, I did not. But I also, I know that there's other alternatives, and I don't have to take that on. But what I do have to do is delve deeper into what am I afraid of, and just continue to work on healing that within myself, so that I can move forward, so that I can walk with ease and grace, and so that I can live my destiny. I said I had a talk with Spirit the other morning. I was like, I know that you didn't give me all of this to, you know, have me just be a caregiver for my mom and maybe my brother. No, I don't believe that. So I have a lot more work to do, Reverend Val, and I have a beautiful teacher, healer, and Dr. G, when she's going to support me and really going deeper. And I'm going to see myself. You know, she told me, she said, just continue to see yourself write your plan out. Like, what is it that you want to do? And create it. And everything else will come into place. I know it will. Just like yesterday, I said to Spirit, I need a visiting angel. I need somebody to come and help me with my mom, and my daughter showed up. So just as easily as that happened, something else can happen. But thank you for allowing me to share this. And I really do hope that out of this experience that I'm sharing today, that others will realize that we don't have to stop ourselves, that we definitely can keep moving forward, because the plan of God is so much more. The plan of God is, and I just need to catch up with God's plan. So I am complete. Thank you.
It's very powerful because, family, remember, we are in no way conveying any kind of message that you shouldn't take care of your parents. And in no way are we conveying a message that you just shouldn't take care of your kids. That's not what we're saying here. Just don't take care of your mama, don't take care of your kids, don't take care of nobody. That's not the point here. The point is, what am I afraid of? As Reverend Z said, Reverend Z is a wise woman. What am I afraid of that causes me to use my mama and my kids as an excuse not to be great? When mama and kids is fine, and they're going to be fine, and there are resources and people and everything required to take care of mama and the kids and brother and daddy. I'm not leaving anyone in the lurch. I'm going to tell you something, Reverend C, that has really been a wow for my whole life. When I went to Intervisions, I probably got a 20-year curriculum in 4 years. And in Intervisions, this is what we are clear about. And this is what you have: a reverend in front of your name. Is it okay if I remind all of us what a minister of God is, as all of us are ministers of God. Would it be okay if I remind us what a minister of God is? Is it okay, family?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, remind me.
A minister of God knows that first and foremost that all is God and God is all and each person is God. My mother is God. The first thing I'm supposed to remember is that all is the one. All is God. All I'm supposed to remember first is God. God. My kids is God. My mother is God. I'm God. All is God. The blade of grass is God, or whatever you call it, love. All is love. All is the one. Source, the creator. All is source. Everything is spirit. Now, spirit as my mother, if I really knew that my mom is spirit, wouldn't spirit have already figured out a way for it to take care of itself, or am I in the fucking way? We really are not holding these people as God. We're really not. We're thinking that they're weak and troubled, and we're looking at their human representation. It's not even a presentation, it's a representation. It's a representing of source. We're really looking at their human incarnation. This little kid, oh my God, they're not going to be able to do it. When some of my kids, I'm telling you, I think all my kids probably are older souls than me. We're looking at this frail, perhaps older person, or my mom when she was laying in the bed, and we are not looking at the mighty soul standing here. I was looking at the premature baby that was born. Well, he wasn't premature. He was born on his appropriate timing. I was looking at this little tiny body that had tubes all over the place when this ginormous soul is standing here. Which one am I more rooted into? A minister is more rooted in spirit realms and knows that the third dimension is it's playground. It's a world of illusions. When you open your eyes and look around, you're now in the dream world. We are more rooted in the spirit world than in the dream world of illusions. That's not true. See and be only God. That's exactly it, Dr. Jiwa. Do you remember? I'm telling you, we were in China. I still remember where we were. That's what Dr. G was saying. That it's like a secret joke between me and her in the chat. And I'm going to tell you what it was. We were in a circle with her master teacher, blessed be the incredible Aziz, Dr. Caroline Fuqua. And we were in a circle with Aziz. And Aziz said, Valerie, and I was just sitting there, a whole big circle full of people. I don't know, maybe about 30 people in the circle. All of a sudden she said, Valerie. I was like, yes. She said, B and C only God. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. I can go home now because that's what I came for. She understood the assignment. That's what I came for. I could have went home at that very second. I mean, I stayed to enjoy China and everything else and Hong Kong and all of that. I could have went home after that. If I'm being and seeing only God, I don't see weak people that need me to take care of them and get them out of bed and in that because I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid to step up and do the big scary shit that I'm really here to do. Ooh. And you have a time frame on it because in the third dimension, there's this thing called time. The clock is ticking. And one day you got an expiration date. Spirit's going to say, come on home. And let's just review this incarnation with no judgment. Let's just review it. Did you choose fear or did you choose love? Because in the next incarnation, I'm going to choose love even more. Or maybe I won't have another incarnation. I can just do it all now. I can just drop it now. Yeah, Reverend C, you're not alone. You're not alone in being deathly afraid of doing the big scary things. So let me put myself in a position where I can't do it and it'll be acceptable. I can actually sleep at night. I can actually live with myself because I'll tell myself I'm doing something noble and I'm garnering good graces in heaven. And I'm a saint because I take care of people. And watch the body crunch up and watch us get growths in the body temple from not expressing our particular strain or strand of genius that God put us here to do. I wouldn't do that to myself. I'm too scared to do that to myself. I'm actually scared now of not doing it That's why I jump up and do it scared. I'll be doing shit scared all the time because I'm too afraid of what would happen to my life and to my body and to my health and to my mind and to my family and to my finances if I didn't do it. What would that look like? I can't do that. I don't know what it would look like. I don't want to find out. Nope, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it scared. I'm gonna go to Peru. I'm gonna everywhere spirit bring me. India, China, Hong Kong. I'm gonna do it scared. I'm gonna get my little passports. I'm gonna shake and tremble it. Never did it before. I'm gonna drink some ayahuasca. Whatever spirit put in front of me, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna do it. And I'm telling you, you will do it afraid sometimes. All good. Family. The night before I went to Mexico, panic hit me. Like, what are you getting ready to do? You're getting ready to leave America? You know, the committee I talk about in my books. Get the books. Reverend Z, do you have No Excuses Manifesto, Why You're Stuck in Dark Night of the Soul? Those 3 books, they go together. Do you have them?
Not yet, but I guess I'm going to get them now. Yes, ma'am. I will put my order in today for those because I was seeing that stuck book and I'm like, why don't you get that book? Probably because I don't really want to see the truth. I don't want to hear the truth. But I will. Thank you.
Beautiful, because sometimes we don't want to think we're stuck. We want to think that we're not stuck when we are. Here's Why You're Stuck, No Excuses Manifesto, Dark Night of the Soul. These 3 go together. I promise you, you work these 3 books together, and I'm creating a compendium where all of them are going to be in 1 volume. But for now, you can get them in 3 volumes. They're 11 each. I tell you, and you work the process. I promise you, you will no longer be stuck. And not only will you not be stuck, you will recognize when you're making up a stuck story. Ooh. You see, one of the things they taught us in Intervisions is that there are 2 kinds of stories you can tell yourself. This came from a book. I don't quite remember exactly the book it came from. It could have come from that coaching book. But here's the 2 kinds of stories. One is a rut story and one is a river story. A rut story is always going to have you getting stuck. Oh, no, it looks like I got to take care of my mother. Oh, it looks like I got to take care of my brother too. So you don't even give yourself an expiration that you're going to care for mom maybe for another decade. Mom is 100 and she passes on like Aunt Marvel did. My grandmother's sister, my great aunt, 100. And we had this incredible celebration for Aunt Marvel. Okay, yay. But you're still not going to live your destiny then, because it looks like, because my mind is going to look around for somebody else that I can take care of. Who's getting sick around here? That's what my fearful unconscious mind is saying. Who looks like they need a caretaker? Because that's what I do instead of live my destiny. And this was me. I was a rescuer before I decided to live my destiny. I was on the emergency side of things. At least Reverend C is calm in how she does it because she's on the care side of things. I was on the emergency side of things, getting these adrenaline hits all the time, running to save people from emergencies. Same thing. Different polarity, same thing. Going to rescue or taking care of somebody rather than living your destiny. And this rut story or this river story is, the rut story is, oh, I got to take care of people. That's going to be a rut. You're stuck in the same rut year after year after year after year after year after year. It's a rut. A river story has you flowing. Maybe I'll open to the possibilities of perhaps someone else can come in for a few hours a day and take care of my mom. Perhaps I'll buy a ticket to Jamaica. Perhaps I'll join a group of people who run retreats and stop going to damn retreats. Some of y'all need to stop going to retreats. Because you need to be running the retreat. I realized that when I was at something like the 79,000 retreat that I had been at. I was sitting there and the spirit was like, you could be teaching this whole thing. You're supposed to be on stage and here you are in the audience. Yeah, you're right. I'm addicted to going to retreats and not saying you're not supposed to go to retreats. We're always having retreats. Why are you having these retreats? Why are you going to become a professional retreat goer? Of course not. We're going to the retreats and the events so that we may have an activation and a manifestation of the epic nature of the soul. So that we see you with the books, we see you with the businesses, we see you bringing the third dimension into heaven. We see you creating your retreats all over the world, as you hear Chandra saying. We see you becoming wealthy from what you're learning in Ascension. We see you on your Never Work Again plan, where you're taking action every single day. We see you an hour a day, you give attention to your wealth, which is your freedom plan. We see you writing your books. We see you actually telling people you wrote the books. Like you saw Dr. G, where she had her books out there. She told you what was the book about. She gave you the opportunity to buy the book. People bought the books, and then she gave you the opportunity to go on and buy the books online if you couldn't buy the books right there. You actually have to tell people you wrote a book after you write it. Yes, Reverend C?
That part. That part.
What's the problem? Why don't we tell people that we created something great? No, every day you're going to hear something from me that I created. Hey, family, come to the Christian Witches Convention. Hey, family, go get this book. Hey, family, watch this video. Hey, family, read my other book. You got those books? Well, get 2 more of my books. Hey, family, come to this. Oh, no, I'm going to tell you what I did. Why? So you can do it. God told me to do it. And then how I'm going to do it and not tell anybody. That's the light under the bushel basket again. Let your light shine.
Well, you know, Reverend Val, I have to admit that I had so much judgment around my book because I really told the whole story about my experience in Jamaica, and it wasn't pretty. And I got feedback, you know, from close friends and family. Why would you tell all your business? You know, why would you tell about the husband and the other woman and all that stuff? I wouldn't have told nobody that. So I went into that dark place, like, maybe I shouldn't have said all that. And honestly, I mean, when I go back and read my book, which is not often, but I'm going to do that more, and I'm going to get it out there. I'm just going to do it and not care. You know, one of the things that this course is teaching me is, well, I care about what other people think. Why am I doing that to myself? Because I think I wrote a magnificent book. I really do. And but I allowed myself to get caught up in what other people thought I should not be sharing.
Is it okay if we go deeper? Is it okay if we go deeper? Okay.
Yeah.
So what other, first of all, there's no other people. And what other, that's the first thing. There's no other people. There's you. There's one. There's one of us here. This one is God. So there's no other people. Secondly, everything that comes out of other people's mouths, I gave them the lines to write. I gave them the lines to write. So when you said, I think I wrote a fantastic book. In my mind, I heard from Spirit, no, you don't. You don't really think that. Because if you did, you would be doing something different. My hand is raised. As you were speaking, I was looking at my book, Confessions, like, oh my God, Confessions is the book where I really laid it all out, like seething. And that's a lower selling book, even than How to Be a Christian Witch. Why? Because I'm afraid. So I'm gonna start promoting Confessions more than the other books, because I can promote some of the books. Ooh, yeah, do this, do this, do this. Ooh, I'm still harboring fear around Confessions. Because ooh, in Confessions, I give it to you. Ooh, when people read Confessions, they be like, oh my God. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up right on the screen right now for all of us. Confessions of a Christian.
I'm definitely gonna have to get that one, Reverend Val. I gotta get that one too.
Confessions of a Christian Witch. That, as a matter of fact, when I read Confessions of a Christian Witch, excerpts of it, and all of the ratings are 5-star, all of them. Like, people are like, I cannot believe this book. Remarkable, liberation at last, revealing book. Wow, that's a fantastic book. Live for your soul's purpose. And what people think of you is not people think it's none of your business. Very informative, great book. If there is anything other than a 5-star review, oh, there's a couple of them other than 5-star. It's overwhelmingly 5-star. This book is like, and you can see the other books 4-star, 4.5 stars for all of them. I don't really go by stars. Stars give me feedback of what my mind is really thinking. Right. And I don't even know if I posted this to the members, because I think this book came out before the members actually had the books. So I'm going to post this for all the members. All the members on my YouTube channel who pay $4.99 a month, you all receive all the books as a gift. Yet this book was published before then, because this book has been out for many years. So I will go back and I will get this book and publish it to you all who are members on the channel so you can have it as well. So thank you, Spirit, for bringing us all out of hiding around our greatest work on the planet. Some of our greatest work on the planet, we've been hiding. So I'm going to come out of hiding. I just outed myself. I will promote confessions far more than I do and have. I will own that whatever I hear come out of other people's mouths is really my own unconscious thoughts that I won't give expression or listen to. I won't listen to them inside me, so I must hear them from the outside. Is that helpful, Reverend C?
Absolutely, Reverend Bell. Thank you so much.
Just so we get to own all of our power. Yes.
Yes, I just want to share when you said that about going to retreat. Your retreat is one of the first retreats I've been to, but I was talking to my accountability partner, her, and I was talking with Shante, and I was telling her about, become a Bitcoin strategist. And when I was going through that course that you put up there, I was like, Shante, you have to go through become a Bitcoin strategist. I said, because I said, love, when I tell you that love is oozing in every lesson that you put up there, Reverend Val, I said, she is giving it to you, laid out of how to do it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to go to retreat, just like you said, and that's what our conversation was about, and not put into action. You are giving it to us to go use it. I remember when I was at Intervision, and Iyala's like, take this stuff I'm giving you and repurpose it.
Yes.
Period. And I shared that with Shante, and I was like, Reverend Love is doing the same thing. She laid a blueprint out. You take that, you study it, you ingest it, you digest it, and you take it and you run and share it and teach it and revamp it and make it your own. And so, yes, take the knowledge. It's not about everybody think if you go to college, you get this piece of paper. I got a couple of pieces of paper that you throw it in the box of the closet. But everybody think that you go run and get this piece of paper from a college. Okay, now I'm certified. I'm authorized to do this now. No. That's not the only way at all. When somebody's blessing you with something, you're here for a reason. We all here for the reason because we all came seeking for something because we knew that we were great. We saw our greatness, we know our greatness, and we continue to play small. But something in us was telling us, no, you're not going to play small. I'm guilty of that. So, but your spirit keeps leading you to a place. And then you come across Reverend Love, who's one of the people who's just giving you that love, giving it to you. And when you say that you pay attention, absolutely. And that's when I realized, I was like, wait a minute. It's laid out. Take it and run. Put it to action. Put the blueprint out there. Use it. Take it and run with it. She's put it there in your face, on the buffet, on the plate, isolated for you to take it and do what you will. Run with it. And I am complete.
Let me say something. I was waiting for Chandra to show up to 222, to Never Work Again, the retreat, to Ascension. Because this is the kind of person that is not asking questions. Where do I go? What do I do? How do I log in? I'll be looking at them like, you don't have it yet, that you are the initiator of your experience. And she's not, can you help me? I can't figure this out. Chandra gets in there and she's looking at the material and she's making notes and she got the accountability partner and she's taking actions. She's an unstoppable force. That's who these programs are made for, because it's there. We told you what to do. You didn't do it. And some of you in Ascension, you never even saw it. What class she talking about? Why? Because you won't follow instructions. You won't follow instructions to save your goddamn life. I'm like $99 a month, $5 a day to get 10,000, 100,000 a month. And people want to be confused. That's very fascinating. You're not ready to be wealthy. You're not ready to live your destiny. You're not ready to ascend. Just be honest. Be honest. And just keep coming on A Course in Miracles, because I promise you, if you cannot follow instructions, how are you going to be wealthy? If you can't figure out Bitcoin, how are you going to figure out financial global markets and be wealthy? If you can't figure out how to download a wallet onto your phone and send somebody Bitcoin like we did in day one and never work again, how you going to have billions? It doesn't go, family. I tell you exactly what I am doing. Everything I do, I tell you, hey, family, they're giving me money to do this. Do it. Here's how I do it. Do it. They'll give you money if you do this. How does it work? How does Discord work? You're never going to be wealthy. You're never going to be wealthy. Somebody like Chandra, she will run circles around all of this, and she will have her coins and her retreat center, and it's all there for you. It's all there for you. If you're in Ascension and you're not making money from Ascension, please go back and start at one. That's all. Go back and start at one. Ascension is $5 a day, Monday through Friday. If you're not worth $5 a day, I can't help you. Monday through Friday, you got the weekends off. It's $99 a month. If you can't do that, I can't help you. I can't help you. If you do it and you give your 1 to 2 hours every single day, like I tell you in the beginning, this is not going to work if you don't work it. It's not going to work if you don't work it. It's not going to work if you don't work it. She's working it. Nothing's going to work if you don't work it. Nothing's going to work if you don't work it. Some of y'all jump in Ascension just so you can get a discount on a trip. I'm going to jump in Ascension so I can get this trip cheaper. Great. That's why it's there, because we want you to have a full immersion experience. And then do the work in Ascension as well when you come back from the trip. Do you see that Ascension is your daily, ongoing, underlying support? Just like you have Course in Miracles in the morning, you have Ascension in the afternoon to get your wealth together. If wealth is important to you, it's important to me, because I couldn't be nobody's slave. And if you're going to live in the monetary system and you're not a master of the monetary system, you are screwed royally up the ass with no grease, as Chandra said. Chandra said that at the retreat. I said, it never work again. I said, ooh, I'm taking that one. She said, you screwed up the ass with no grease. I was like, oh, damn. What were we talking about at the retreat?
All the way over. I say bent all the way over, but it's so funny because my daughter's here and she's a powerful reader, but she's up here listening to you. She's up here doing a dance. Say, that's right, she is preaching. And I was like, that's the Reverend Battery Love.
Welcome to the love zone. Oh my God, I never understood it. I didn't understand it when I used to see financial planning clients. Financial planning clients used to come in, not my clients, people who wanted to be clients. They would come in, they wouldn't want to invest $500 in a financial plan to make thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. They didn't want to. So you know that they're never going to become wealthy, because the first you do the investment, then you get the reward. First you plant the seed, then you get the harvest. So many of us can't do that. And it's really bad in spiritual communities. That's why you will not find ascension, spirituality, and money together like you will in this plan, in Ascension, with a financial advisor. You won't find it. It doesn't exist. You'll find many schools, many classes, it doesn't exist. I looked for it, I couldn't find it. None of the spiritual teachers were going deep and teaching me the principles of money and finance, and none of them, either they were greedy and they weren't really spiritual and they weren't doing it kind of how, or they were spiritual and they were rich, like T. Harbecker, who was my coach for many years, but maybe they're not deep into Bitcoin or deep into gold. Or maybe there was somebody that was deep into gold, but they didn't have the spiritual piece. Or maybe I could not find the integration of all of it. So that's how Spirit created it, through me. I give you so much in it. Not I, Spirit gives you so much in Ascension. I can't believe that everybody in Ascension is not making a ridiculous google-ups amount of money in anything you want to make. And I know there is one reason why, because your mind will not let you take the actions to do it. So stay in Ascension until it clicks. That's what happens. You stay in your process, you stay here every morning, and of course, miracles. And then as happens, we saw with Jen, we see with Chandra, we see with Kristen, you're gonna click. You're gonna click. You're gonna click. You're gonna click. It's gonna click for you. And then you're gonna have people who stop, people who don't go on, people who don't take the action, people who do this, do whatever. I don't care about any of them. I'm going forward to billionaire. And I am a happy, rich billionaire from Bitcoin and all the things that Spirit put in my lap. Bitcoin came to me in a meditation. So if you don't get Bitcoin, as the toxic maximalist Bitcoiners say, which I'm not one yet, I'm not a toxic Bitcoin maximalist. I do laugh when they say, well, have fun staying poor. I like when they say that, especially to rich people. They say it to rich people. They say it to people all the time. And they don't mean poor as in you don't have money. Poor as in you're in the old legacy financial system. And you don't know what's about to happen with money. You didn't know the old system and it ran circles around you. And you don't want to learn the new system where you could run circles around it. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Where all the money is going to be right here on this device or a chip in your hand. And you don't understand any of that. And you don't understand financial markets. You don't understand the bond markets. You don't understand that when the Fed comes out and says something, it's going to affect what happens in the supermarket. When you go buy lettuce, you don't see the connection. You don't see that the puppeteers of society have puppeteered money on the island called Jekyll Island. By the way, which in its history, it's very, very strange. I learned this at the Bitcoin conference that I was just at because I soak up information like this. Do you know that on Jekyll Island, they actually used to have human sacrifice on the island where the Federal Reserve was created? Do you not find it a metaphysical synchronicity that the Federal Reserve, who sacrifices humans every day on the altar of finance, was conceived on an island that previously featured rituals in which there was human sacrifice? I mean, just put that in your pipe and smoke it. That ought to be enough to make you say, I don't care if I got to break my head, I'm going to learn this stuff. I don't understand. The world is sleeping. I don't understand that. You don't know that the puppeteers are playing you through the money. You don't know that. They're playing you through the money, through the big pharma. You don't know that? Well, stay in the matrix if you want to stay in the matrix. I'm not going to be in the matrix. And anyone who wants to come out of the matrix, I will happily help you out. And anyone who wants to master money, flag theory, Bitcoin, wealth, gold, being an angel investor, and all the things that we teach you in Ascension, so you can ascend yourself and your wealth and your destiny. If you would take it on and actually do it, be honest with me. If you're in Ascension, have you really taken it on? Be honest. Have you really taken it on an hour or two every day? Have you really gone in and got your accountability partner? Ascension is not for babies. I'm not holding your hand. I refuse, because nobody's going to hold your hand and make you be rich. And if that's what you're looking for, Ascension ain't for you, because it says it on the page. How you get into Ascension, you go to ValerieLove.com. It's very simple. When you go to ValerieLove.com, you'll see it right there on the first page. Anyone who is an Ascension can tell you, we do not baby you, we will not coddle you. We don't do that, because right on the page where we tell you about Ascension, read it in full, we tell you who Ascension is not for. It is not for babies. We don't do babies. These are grown folks having grown folks conversations about like we did at the Never Work Again retreat, where Chandra and Shantae said that she read a pitch deck about an angel investment opportunity, where Coach Michelle was talking about ROI and return on investment. Don't you want to elevate yourself and your money and your understanding for you and for your children? Break the slavery. Break the monetary slavery. Spirit didn't put me in the financial services industry for 7 years for nothing. It put me there so I could see the rot to the core of the system, and that Bitcoin fixes it. That's all you would need to know from a person like me who would tell you, I was in the system. The system is rotten to the core. It can't even be saved. That old legacy, you can't even save it. You cannot. It's nothing salvageable from it. Built on greed and fear and control and manipulation. And if you don't understand those, get into Ascension so we can break it down to you exactly how it works and how to escape. Spirit gave us an out. And guess what the out is? Math, numbers. Bitcoin is numerology, is numbers, is zeros and ones. The foundation of the whole universe. Numbers and sacred geometry. That's Bitcoin. I mean, we keep telling you the thing is otherworldly and surreal and it's not of this plane. The angels, I'm telling you, it came from higher intelligence. We keep telling you that, but people don't believe it. You'd rather stay in a job and be broke and deal with this old fiat money, the little pieces of paper and little tickets you put in your wallet, and call that money. It's not money. You never, if you were holding fiat currency, you never held real money a day in your life. It's not money. Anything else? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We complete.
Make sure, like, we have a community and utilize everybody in your community. I got my Psalms, and I didn't quite get it. So I know that I made I have all these beautiful sisters and brothers in this community. I reached out to my sister Sharon because I was like, who's going to break this down for me to help me understand fully this song? When I tell you this sister had me in tears, when she broke that Psalms down to me so eloquently. So we are all available to each other. We are here for the same reasons, the same goal, the same, to shine, each one of us to shine our light. We all have something different to offer and something beautiful to offer. So let's utilize each other, reach out to each other. Just like my sister so eloquently gave me and broke that Psalms down. You know, there might be another sister that might help you with something else, that might help you come to a revelation about something else. Like Princess had me come to the revelation about my back, and she directed me to Louise Hay. We are all here in support of each other. So yes, we utilize each other and, you know, just shine our light in this community. And for real, this time, I'm really complete.
I love that, because what we'll end on as we go to our galactic signature is the distinction between help and support. Family, stop asking for help. Will you help me do this? Will you help me do that? Everyone's to do their own work. Support, yes, we can support you with it. What's the difference? There is a great difference. Help comes from victim. I need you to help me because I can't do it. Support comes from, I'm a divine being. I know there's more for me to learn. Support comes from abundance. I know there's more for me to learn. Who can I go to where I can share what I know? There's going to be an exchange. I'm not coming empty asking you to do something for me, right? Who can I bless? And who can we have an interchange with that we can understand this better? So you call your accountability partner, because we told you up front to get an accountability partner in Ascension. So you call your accountability partner and say, hey, I'm weak on Bitcoin, yet I'm strong on angel investing. How about we go over the Bitcoin parts again so I can be clearer on it? And she might say, well, you know, I'm kind of a little shaky on angel investing and reading a pitch deck, but I'm strong on Bitcoin. And do you see that the two of you are now going to come together and you're going to support one another in going higher? But don't just come, I need help. You're not going to get help. You're not going to get help. We don't help people here. We will support you. We'll remind you that you are great. We will tool you so that you go and dig. Here's how I'm going to end this. When you ask God for gold, God gives you a shovel. God, I need gold. Do you think gold magically lands in your lap? Bing, here's what lands in your lap from heaven. A shovel, get to digging. You have your shovel. You want gold? Get to digging. Do you see any gold laying on the streets? Or do you dig? Get to doing your work. All right. Teacher has spoken. let's go to Galactic Signature for the day.
Yes, you have spoken. I just had a couple of little things I wanted to say. Dia, thank you so much for that beautiful acknowledgement. I felt remiss for not speaking after you were complete. I also wanted to, again, I had made a comment earlier about seeing the sign for London, and I didn't know that my yes for Dubai would take me there. And I went and I did a quick search on my Facebook feed, and the day I saw that sign, I took a picture of it and I posted it on social media. It was September 19th. And then the day that I arrived in London for my stopover was January 19th. Now, you could not
Oh
have
my
told
God, that's amazing.
exactly to the day. And you would not have been able to tell me that when I was walking in Atlantic City and saw a sign that I joked about it. I posted on Facebook jokingly, like, this sign is missing a panel. It's supposed to say stay in London, but it says stay in London. I guess I'll be in London. And never, ever did I think that when I got the invitation to go to Dubai, that would lead me to London. And I'm looking at myself standing in front of Buckingham Palace. I'm looking at myself on a cruise underneath London bridges. I'm looking at myself seeing different beautiful buildings that my ancestors built. And you never know where your yes can take you. So I know it be sounding like I be beating up that yes, but I just every day I see another example of how your yes does so much for you than you could ever imagine. I just thought I was going to Dubai, and I was very happy with that. Dubai was an amazing experience, but all the experiences along the way, before and after, and everything that was a result of it, completely life-changing.
Come on.
The last thing I wanted to share, when you were speaking about your mom and your sister, it just kind of made me laugh, because everyone who knows me personally knows my infinity for Brooke and how much I love Brooke. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have kids, and when Brooke came into this earth plane, it was like my life was complete. It felt like it was the daughter my brother had for me. So my brother had another baby girl on the way. When he had her, it wasn't that I didn't, like, for everyone else around me, it looked like I didn't love her. And I loved her, but it felt like she was my niece, and it felt like Brooke was my daughter. And my mom and my dad is my hidden helper. So my mom and my dad, they're always like, oh, but Destiny might be the one that takes care of you. So it just made me kind of chuckle when you were telling that story about your sister, because Brooke is my higher self. Ooh. And Destiny is my complement. Ooh. So it was like both of my brother's children are a big part of who I am. They are definitely a part of my fifth force oracle. And I do believe that the universe sets everything up exactly as you will have it. And when I tell you that baby Destiny, she loves me, and I'll never forget, like, she would always sing her ABCs, like, whenever it was time to go for a nap. And when it says H-I-J-K, she would always sing H-I-T-T-L-M-P. So she thought my name was right in the middle of the song that she sang every time it was time to lay down, which I was like, wow, God does set it up, and He gives you everything that you could ever desire beyond what you can imagine. And one more thing. I said that was the last thing.
Yes,
so
great.
You taught me about low vibration words and high vibration words. So when you were talking about people, I need help. Need is such a low vibration word that I never use anymore. And help is another low vibration word. So when I call people and say I require support, or I require assistance, they be looking at me like, you what? You need help? No, I don't need help.
No.
So it's amazing how when you take those low vibratory words out of your energetic alignment, how things just shift. So yeah, now I used to be that first person hollering about how I needed something and I needed help. Now that neediness, I'd be like, ooh. So thank you for all that you do pour into me and the community, because you might say something 10 years ago and it'll stick forever and change the whole trajectory of someone's life. So thank you.
Thank God.
I said all that to say the Galactic Signature of the day, which is...
By the way, all of those are delicious. Thank you.
Yes.
They're all delicious.
Today's Galactic Signature, it's Blue Solar Monkey.
Blue Monkey, Blue Monkey.
Kin 191. I pulse in order to play. Realizing illusion, I seal the process of magic. With the solar tone of intention, I am guided by the power of accomplishment. I pulse in order to play. Realizing illusion, I seal the process of magic. With the solar tone of intention, I am guided by the power of accomplishment. I pulse in order to play. Realizing illusion, I seal the process of magic. With the solar tone of intention, I am guided by the power of accomplishment. Blue Solar Monkey.
Yay! Ding, 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 ding. Woohoo! I'm so happy. Blue Monkey. It's a Blue Monkey Day. You get to play. Blue Monkey is all about play. All right. We got the Sky Clan today. Sky Clan in the house. Everybody send some love to our love tubers. Mwah. Love you, Dr. Jiwa. Love you. Dr. Jiwa is in the chat. Love you, family. Love you. God bless. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Love you.